Yes, guys. Yes, people. We are back. Yay. Yeah. Back for another transfer deadline day. The first deadline day of the transfer window. Weird that we're even saying that, but here we are. Big up everybody, though. Run up the likes, subscribe, all of that shit. Camera's on a fucking angle, which is just pissing me off, and I'm already pissed off today. So can't be asked for that. Here we are, though. Here we are. Right, like and subscribe, all of that crap. We're here to talk about the Maignan situation, where we've walked away. I don't know whether we're going to come back or not. Some people are trying to talk about potentially coming back in January, potentially coming back later in the window. We didn't hear anything like that. We got told Tuesday deadline. So I'll be so real. Until I see Tuesday deadline, I'm going to think Maignan to Chelsea is dead in the water for now, because that's what we were told. That's exactly what we were told. But yeah, we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about Jamie Gittens. You got another bid rejected for him. They want fucking £55 million. Serie A clubs make me sick. Bundesliga clubs make me sick. All of this is just really, really fucking frustrating. I'll be so real. It's real frustrating. But big up to every single one of you in here. Big up, man. Big up to Joey. Big up to Strasbourg Steve. Big up to Sean. Big up to Deals. Big up to Muscab. Big up to Sean. Big up to Morning Zombie. Yes, I have, man. Yes, I have, man. Big up to Fielder. Oh, we're going to bring up Maignan. That is like the biggest topic of the day, man. That is the biggest topic of the day. Big up to Savić. I'm just frustrated, man. Just fucking frustrated. I told you if we didn't get this transfer done, I'd be annoyed. Now, if I see that this transfer is still potentially in the books for this window or before the start of the Premier League season, I'd be like, all right, cool. We don't need him for the group stage. Before anyone says it, it's not an, oh, I wanted him in before the group stage thing. No. I was told Tuesday deadline. So it seems like we've moved out of the deal. And that's what's frustrated me. That's what's frustrated me. But yeah, we're going to get into that. Big up to Dalton with a donation. Big up, my G. He said Milan can do one after getting Giroud, Pulisic, Loftus-Cheek and winning the title with them stiff-arming us pricks. Serie A tax. Like, why do we think that just because, like, they got some decent deals off us, that means the same energy is going to go the other way around? When has it ever been the same energy with Serie A teams? When is it ever? How many times have we said on this channel that Serie A clubs will lowball all of your players and then be bastards to negotiate with when it comes to, like, buying players off them? We've been in this situation numerous times. Numerous times. So to me, it's not even a fuck Milan thing. It's an I expected this. Really did. Really did. I hoped it would have been different. Just hope we would have got him in before the tournament anyway, or like just in general. just in general. But as it stands, I think we've walked away from the deal. We've walked away from the deal. You allow your board and your owners too much, you are letting them off. What these are... Brothers that are literally in my intro. Every stream. But you let them off. Man, get out of here, bruv. Maignan gets injured all the time. Okay, 37 starts in 38 games in the league this season. Okay. Okay, Ryan. Big up, man. Big up, man. Great. Big up, Savić. Big up every single one of you that's locked in. Shout out to the chat. Shout out to every single one of you that's locked in. I hope we still progress this transfer throughout this summer, but why am I meant to believe that when all we said was Tuesday deadline? Why should I believe that? That's hopium. That's hopium until I see otherwise. Show me otherwise so I could just believe that, okay, cool, we're going to get this guy in for the start of the league season and I'm happy. I don't care. Don't care. But that ain't the case. That ain't the case. One sec. Let me get this thing away. Where is it? Actually, no. That should be a lot better. Yeah, that'll do. That'll do. So, the exclusive. Woke up to this and then wanted to just go straight back to bed. Mike Maignan deal is now off between Chelsea and AC Milan. Chelsea not willing to meet the Milan price. Deal not proceeding in time for the Club World Cup as Chelsea won't pay CWC tax. Chelsea maintain full trust in Petrovic, Sanchez, Jorgensen, and talent Mike Penders for the goalkeeping role because, yes, nothing says full trust like pushing for another goalkeeper and having full trust in 4 instead of 1. Instead of 1. Fair enough. Now I'm really trying to hold on to the other side of this tweet where it said, we're not proceeding in time for the Club World Cup. Please keep this going afterwards. Because if you keep this going afterwards, then all the complaints, all of the annoyance, all the frustration that I have and a lot of Chelsea fans have right now will actually be put straight back in the back burner. Because then we believe that at least we haven't walked away from the deal in its entirety. But we were told Tuesday deadline. Don't get it twisted. We were told Tuesday deadline. So as things stand, it seems like the deal is done. Seems like the deal is done and the deal is over. All because of what I think was an £8 million difference in valuation. I think it was an £8 million difference in valuation between Chelsea and AC Milan on this one. And this is the most frustrating part of it all. This is the most frustrating part of it all. Because it isn't even that much in a difference for someone who I really think is a genuine level raiser in the team. A genuine level raiser. Proven goalkeeper at the highest level for over 4 to 5 years. One of the highest rated goalkeepers over the last 4 to 5 years. Very good at playing out the back. Experience that would be crucial for the team. A major part of the dressing room, leadership, all of that brings you every single intangible and tangible asset that you would want in a goalkeeper. And here we are. Here we are. I know some people are going to talk about RB's only got a year left on his contract and all of that. And like, I hear it. But if I told everyone at the end of the season, right? If I told everyone end of the season that Maignan was available for 25 to 30 million, you know what people would have said? Bring. People would have said bring. Because at 20, 25, 30 million or whatever it is, that's still a top quality goalkeeper that you would be getting for that price tag. It would still be a top quality goalkeeper. 20, 30 mil, I'd be like, okay, run it. Run it. Run me that. People still talk about Petrovic and everything. And look, Petrovic could still be a class goalkeeper for us. Don't get it twisted. But what did I say last week? When there is a badder bitch in the room, run me the badder bitch. It is what it is, man. That's what I've grown up on. Yeah, there's some good options in the team, right? If there's somebody better, I want the better. That's it. I want better. If better is available, and especially if he is on that sort of price and suits our wage structure and brings you leadership and is an upgrade on nearly every asset that we have in goal already. And also, by the way, like, have we forgotten that Petrovic has a release clause? We don't even know how much that release clause is. What happens if another club goes in for that? That's another thing that you got to bring in as well. We were told that he has a release clause. So it's like, again, I want to keep saying, if we go back for him in this summer, all that anger that I have got disappears. All the frustration that I have immediately disappears if we continue negotiations for him. But I need to see that first. I need to see that first. So, yeah. But this is it. I talk about he'll resign now. I don't think he will resign. Milan have already fucked Maignan around in negotiations, and he's already told them that he wants to leave. If anything, he could still do the whole what's it called? He could still just play for them for the whole season and everything, and then just get himself a sign-on bonus. So that's not even the case. Why does it disappear? Because Reaper, I want him here for the start of the Prem season. So if negotiations continue and we don't walk away from the table and he can come in by the start of the Prem season, I will let it continue to play out. What frustrates me is that we were told throughout the entire time that there was a Tuesday deadline before we walk away, and we're now at Tuesday. That's what's frustrated me. It's not that I need him in for the group stage. I don't. You could have dragged this till the knockout rounds. I don't give a damn. I don't care. I want him here for next season. I want him here for the season. So, like, yeah, that was it for me. Didn't the Athletic say they've ended interest for the summer? Yeah, that's why I'm annoyed. That's why I'm annoyed. They can change that and continue negotiating, but I have to see that. I'm not going to tell you that they're going to keep negotiating. I need to see that. I need to see that. What are the other super chats saying? Big up to God's will. Big up God's will, my G. Yeah, Reaper, I'm with you, man. I'm with you, bro. Don't get it twisted. Big up to God's will saying I watch Milan as much as Chelsea. All you lot chatting bollocks on his injuries and saying his rubbish are dead wrong. Easily improves Chelsea. Facts. Injury hype, man. He missed one game last season. Like, that's a narrative from a year ago. So, yeah, I'm with you on that one. Big up for, again, just another debunking and everything. I said he ain't even better than Sanchez. Whatever, man. Cope. Fucking cope, man. Big up Godswill again, saying the fan base will blame Maresca next season, though. You see how the briefings have all just immediately flip-flopped, by the way. The briefings have all immediately flip-flopped. We'll get to that in a second. I'm going to go through the rest of Super Chats. We'll get into that in a second. Big up to Bat. Big up, my guy. Oh, you weren't talking about Maignan. Sorry, bro. My head's gone. Sorry, bro. But big up, man. Pies Bomber. All right. One sec. What's the Pies Bomber? Dortmund won 45 million to sell Gittens today. Chelsea bid 42. Okay, well, that's getting done. That's getting done. So at least Plettenberg was lying about 55. Whatever, man. Whatever, man. I'm sure you can meet in the middle for him. He's under the age of 25. So that should work. That should work. Whatever, man. Whatever. Calm. All right, so we'll keep an eye out on this one. Keep an eye out on this one. 3 more millions. 3 more millions. Whatever. Cool. Daniel, big up in the chat, man. Big up. I said you should be calling this out another experience. If it ain't Rodrigo, I don't give a damn who we're getting, man. The left wing options all reek. They all fucking reek. Big up South Central saying, bro, Gittens is shit. We need Nico or Rodrigo. Again, first thing, forget Nico Williams when he wants the wages that he wants. Forget Nico Williams. It is not realistic. It is never going to happen. Nothing. Forget Nico. Even Rodrigo, that's not even going to be like worth talking about until after the Club World Cup. Because they're not going to sell unless he asks to leave. So either one of them, I don't think is realistic right now. And all the other left-wing options, indifferent. Straight indifferent. Big up South Central, though. Big up Harshvadan saying, don't know how to feel G. Think it's Petro's year, to be honest. Look, big up Petrovic, man. Look, big up Petrovic. And if we don't get another goalkeeper, I hope you do well. I hope you really do well here. But, like I said, I wanted Maignan. From when I knew Maignan was available and we were looking at him, I wanted Maignan. Petrovic, so I'll give you a chance. I'll give you a chance. Well, not even give you a chance. You would have been my number one if we didn't go for a goalkeeper. So, like, do your thing. Do your thing. Ain't going to be no Petrovic agenda or nothing like that. He'll end up being the one that we decide to go with and, like, hope raises the floor of our goalkeepers for the next campaign. But Maignan would have raised it up levels. Fucking levels. Jarring. So jarring. Big up, though, man. Big up, though. Would you take Kudus over Gittens? Kudus, though, I'd have play on the 10 or the right. I wouldn't really have playing on the left. Because he don't... like, all I've heard from West Ham fans is that he's garbage on the left-hand side. So, like, Gittens would only really be an option for us, mainly on the left. So it'd have to be a both. And for everyone saying Pies, I did see it. We're going to get to that later. I've seen it. But big up, guys. Appreciate you bringing it up. Appreciate you bringing it up. But yeah, here we are. And then obviously the briefings dropped straight afterwards. They're like, Chelsea still retain faith in all of our goalkeepers. Maresca never asked for him. Maresca didn't ask for a goalkeeper and everything like this. And like, this is the thing that's the most mind-numbing. They really act like you have like the worst memory span in the world. Because like, yeah, Maresca not driving the move, Chelsea sticking to their valuation. Maresca didn't ask for a goalkeeper and everything, but like what? This was what we were being shown a week ago. Enzo Maresca believes Chelsea needs a goalkeeper with a different level of distribution from last season. Okay. Okay. All right, that's cool. That's cool. But yeah, we didn't need a goalkeeper. We didn't need a goalkeeper. Some people will say that's a bit more vague, though. Some people will call that a bit vague. So I'll ask them, is this vague? Is this one a bit vague? Enzo Maresca has approved the Mike Maignan signing, considered ideal for his tactical approach. Chelsea on it. Chelsea on it. So that doesn't sound like that either, to be honest. That don't really sound like that either. Which other ones do we have? Maresca wants a new goalkeeper. Maresca wants a new goalkeeper. Why is this guy quoting Pies like he's a source? Can you read the name that he is quoting? Can you read the name that he's... Shall I zoom in a little bit more for you? So you can read the name that's being quoted. But alright, man. Alright, man. For goodness sake. Was there another one that I had? Oh yeah, Maresca watches Italian football and really appreciates Mike Maignan. That's another one. That's another one. But hey, no. We were never really pushing. He was never really pushing for Maignan like that. Never was. Never was. Look, just keep the negotiations going through the summer. I beg. Because that's the only way that I won't be annoyed about it, because there's still a chance that we get him before the start of the season, which is what is the most important thing for me in general. So, what are we doing? You cannot read. You're a fucking idiot. Is quoting Fabrizio, you dumb fuck. For goodness sakes. Why are you quoting Pie's tweets? Fucking hell, man. Common sense really ain't that fucking common. But yeah, now we retain full trust in all of our goalkeepers again. And it's all 4 goalkeepers, by the way. We retain trust in all 4 of them for one position. Because that works. But yeah, it seems like Maignan to Chelsea is all done. Big up to TM, saying I really want to see how Maresca reacts to Maignan links. With how his name was thrown out there by the sporting directors, he has to speak about it. He won't. Maresca will say what he thinks you need to hear at the time, or what he thinks will be best for the squad. So, yeah, you won't get that. That's why we've already said numerous times on here that, Maresca will lie in the presses. He will waffle in the presses. He will flip-flop in the presses. He will say what he thinks you need to hear at the right moment. And that's it. Yeah, big up Maldini. Yo, it's okay, man. It's okay. It's 8 million. They valued him 8 million too high. So it's fine. It's fine. At least we're showing that we won't be pushed around. Unless he's fucking 20. Ugh. I'm saying Fab tweet. Alright, what's Fab got for me? What's Fab said? Oh, it's Gittens stuff, alright. Where is it? Negotiations with Chelsea and Dortmund for Bino Gittens are underway. 50 million euro proposal on the table, with clubs discussing conditions to be improved in order to make it happen before the deadline. Chelsea are on it. Yeah, we're going to get the here we go before 7. We'll get the here we go before 7. All right, calm, whatever. Yeah, Maldini, man, yeah. I know, but remember, Maresca wasn't really pushing for Maignan. He really wasn't pushing for Maignan. He didn't really want him like that. He wasn't serious about it. He wasn't pushing for him. He wasn't really pushing for him. You know, he wasn't really pushing for him. But whatever, man. How much time left? We got 2 hours and 17 minutes. Yeah, Waldo. If we hear that we're still in negotiations for him, then calm. But all that we heard was that we are going to negotiate till Tuesday, or we're going to walk away. It's not 60 million. Apparently you want 45. Apparently you want 45 for Gittens. Yeah, no. This is what we got briefed. Straight after we walked away from the deal. Maresca isn't driving the move. Maresca didn't ask for a goalkeeper. He don't want a goalkeeper. He don't want a goalkeeper. Even though this was brief last week. You don't want a goalie. You don't want a goalkeeper. You don't need Maignan. He don't want a goalkeeper, guys. He doesn't want a goalkeeper. Great. Big up to Sultan. Our club died since Roman left. This is the start of us becoming Arsenal. Oh, brother. Priorities, profit over trophies, PR tactics. Big up Lewis. Save this club from becoming Arsenal. Don't even blame people for running this narrative right now because, like, this is an opportunity to get a level raiser on a decent price. People are going to talk about, oh, but he's only got a year left and everything. I don't care. If we were told that 25, 30 for Maignan a month ago before the end of the season, everybody would have said yes. Everybody. Now we got to try and find ways to cope about it. Fine. But big up Sultan, man. Big up, brother. And fuck the government. Big up Ilya, saying, let's be honest, if Chelsea want a player, they get him. They obviously didn't want him that much. No, they obviously didn't. They obviously didn't. But we did. We did. I know I did. Fucking know I did. Yeah, Daniel, don't worry, man. Yeah. He's been getting pushed around, man. Yeah. At least we stuck to our guns. Meanwhile, we're gonna fucking try and, like, not stick to our guns on fucking Gittens, but whatever. Only 8 mil. 8 mil. What was the next one? Big up to Bat again. Big up my guys, saying getting Champions League to sign Delap and Gittens. Hopefully it's more. Hopefully it's more with it. No, Daniel, you're not understanding, mate. You're not understanding, mate. Sorry. I'm gonna have to cook you now. I'm gonna have to cook you now, mate. Just stay there. Just stay there, because what you need to understand, right, is Sanchez ended the season strongly. Errors leading to goals, hype, and everything. What a fucking clean sheet against Everton that is. You know? Oh, a clean sheet against Everton. Big up to Mad Hangry, saying maybe after the Club World Cup we get him. I really hope we do. Because this would all be for nothing. It's all be for nothing. I'd love to say, yeah, you know what? Cool. I thought they walked away from the deal. I was wrong. I would love to say that. I would so love to say that. But I have to see that we're still in negotiations. I have to see that. We are giving Petrovic a chance in the Club World Cup and then going for Maignan if he doesn't perform. I'll believe that again when I see it. That is what it is. Bro, what you're not understanding is that nearly all of the sources that we saw said that we were going to walk away today if we didn't get the player. That's why people are outraged. Gittens, like, we know that even if we don't get him today, we're still going to be in negotiations for him, because the sources said the Club World Cup deadline didn't matter in these negotiations, but it was different for what's it called? Maignan. It was different for Maignan. Right there, yeah, you see what it is, man. See what it is, man. But yeah. Some people could say that we might still stay in negotiations. And yeah, we might, but I need to see that. Until I see that. Yeah, the window is only closed for 6 days. It's only closed for 6 days. But again, all the briefings said that we were going to walk away on Tuesday. So until I see that we are staying here in negotiations, then until I see that, I'm going with what I was told. And that was Tuesday deadline. And that was it. Big up to Andy Q saying X funny. He puts Thomas the Train as the thumbnail. Lol. Yeah, I was calling him Thomas the Frank Engine on what was it? Sam's stream yesterday. But big up Andy Q. Big up Frosty saying people forget that Petrovic is the one to be sold. Shaking my head. That one is more potential, to be fair. And like that also could have been dependent on Maignan as well. So These sport directors keep showing on a consistent basis that they can't negotiate and close deals effectively if they don't have someone holding their hands. Well, we've seen that enough times, to be fair. We have seen that enough times. Black Dave, Medal Central. Medal Central, one word. Medal Central, one word. Have a look there for it. Big up Bola. Big up Bola saying, it's calm. I'm done with Winstanley and Stewart. Chelsea fans bought tickets next season. Clearlake deserved Champions League. Too bad. Fucking mugs. There's a lot on that. Done with Winstanley and Stewart. Chelsea fans bought tickets next season. What, like for Clearlake and everything? Or you mean like for the football? Clearlake deserved Champions League. Too bad. Fucking mugs. But here's another thing with it. Because we were told, like, at least with UCL football, we now have more money to work with. At least with UCL football, we're now going to be able to attract more bigger names. Then we try and use that to our advantage with a bigger name, and then we walk away with it over what, a £4 to £8 million difference in valuation? And then people are going to wonder why we're annoyed. Like, really? Then you'll see like fucking Gittens, and then we're still trying to negotiate with whatever much they keep raising the valuation of him for a player that don't even really start regularly for them anymore and barely even fits their new system under their new coach. Like, what? Yeah, Newlands, this is the thing. At least he's got a year left on his contract and we didn't let ourselves get bullied. Yeah, fuck off. Can't be fucking bothered to hear it. I said, like, money aside, all of that, like, if I would be annoyed if this opportunity didn't go through. Fucking jarring, bro. Fucking jarring. Right, let me get away from this goalkeeping situation because it's just I'm just gonna keep venting. I'm just gonna keep getting annoyed. I can't be asked for it. Right, Jamie Gittens. Let's talk about Jamie Gittens. So we dropped a £42 million bid, and it got immediately rejected. And Plettenberg said that they wanted 50 million euros. No, Plettergol said 55 million pounds. That was it. 55 million pounds. But Ben Jacobs apparently said that we were told 45 million. So it's apparently a lot closer in where is it? It's a lot closer to what we thought the difference in valuation was. So it might still get done today. Apparently, the sporting director, Sebastian Kell, has cancelled a planned media event due to negotiations with Chelsea over Gittens. So I do think that this is actually going to get sorted today. So you might see one transfer go through. At least, well, do we say you got bent over with this one? It depends what the final fee is. Anything above 50 million to me is fucking crazy. But even then, it's like the number 2. If we don't get him, is fucking Garnashers. It's fucking Garnashers. Whatever, man. You want to go get Gittens? Go get Gittens. I hope he does well. I hope he works out. Bro, I keep saying, forget Nico Williams with the wage. Forget Nico Williams. It is never going to happen. It is never a realistic transfer. Whatever transfer fee he costs does not matter because the wages are so far off what our wage structure is. It will never, ever, 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 ever happen. Ever. Big up, my guy. I appreciate you. Don't get it twisted. But I need to make this point clear. You man are all wasting your time talking about Nico Williams. It is never going to happen. If anything happens, he probably stays. He probably just stays. Yeah, Maldini, cook. Fucking cook, but whatever. Hey, at least we didn't get bent over. You didn't get bent over. Whatever, man. Big up to Ilya saying, let's be honest, if Doué was still playing for Rennes and we were going for him right now, you will be crying for experience, saying you don't want kids. But this is the thing. This is why when it comes down to like the younger signings, I try and speak from both sides. Because I always give the younger players the chance to at least hit their potential. Always give them the chance. You can question the sporting directors for it or whatever you want, but the younger players, like, see what they do. See what they have now. See what their ceiling can be. And like, look, if it does well, it does well. If it don't do well, then whatever, we talk about it. But it's like, you have to try and look at it from both sides when you're talking about the individual in the transfer. So my thing is always, you have to give the player a chance. Give the player the rope and see if they either skip with it or see if they fucking hang themselves with it. It's as simple as that. Simple as that. How come Chelsea don't want to pay 8 more mil for Maignan? Because we're fucking idiots. We're fucking idiots. Or because we think we can get him on a free next year. Which, I mean, as great as it is for next year, we have an entire season of football that we got to play before that. So, I don't care. That's something I'll think about for next season. Not now. As of now, I'm thinking I would have wanted Maignan in for this season. For this summer. What was our final bid? I think it was 12 mil. I think it was 12 mil. Because I think from what I saw, we just weren't willing to pay more than the 12 mil. Rudy Giletti said we improved it to 90 million bonuses instead, but I haven't seen anyone else say that. Fabrizio said 50 million euros on the 8th. I can't see anything more than like 15 million euros. Yeah, I can't see anything more than that. I said, weren't the fans crashing out on having 10 keepers? Betlinelli's gone, bro. We released 3 of them and Kepa's about to go, man. Can we stop coping, please? Come on. Yo, big up Sultan, man. Big up Sultan. If someone has like the final fee, I think it was 15 million euros. But if anyone saw differently, let me know. Big up Sultan saying it's not a narrative, Lewis, it's the truth. They say politics shouldn't be in football, but our club died because of it. Look, ultimately, politics will always be a part of football. People only say politics shouldn't be in football when it's a political point that individual doesn't like. That's it. Because the same people who do, I don't want BLM, ALM, or say no to racism in football are going to be doing up, we've got Palmer, fuck Keir Starmer, Chelsea's won the Champions League, or some other bullshit, bro. Politics will always be in football, man. Just have to get over it. But big up to you. Quick question, do you think we'll ever see Chelsea win a Prem under this ownership? I don't. Maddest thing is, like, I don't even think we're that far off it. But, like, a brilliant step forward would have been Maignan. Like, ultimately, like, we have a midfield good enough to win a Prem. We have fullbacks that are good enough to win Prems. We've got forwards, not on forward line, but we have forwards that are good enough for it. We're not far off. That's why situations like this are the most frustrating. Big up Sultan for the donation, man. I appreciate the 20 bag. I appreciate that a lot. God bless. Big up, bro. But need to see. Big up SSJ, bro. Spurs moving for Branthwaite and Javi Simmons. Eze maybe. Frank Ball over Ange Ball. Chelsea been moving proper this window so far. Not gonna lie. Oh, brother. Oh, brother. Oh, boy. Moving proper this window. Not so far, but I mean, it's a long window. Go change my mind. Go change my mind. Either way, like, I ain't gonna hear nothing about, like, understanding why we moved away from, what's his name, Maignan. If anyone has reasons for it, I'll hear it out, but I don't think I'm going to agree. I don't think I'm going to agree. It'll just be your opinion. It would just be your opinion. Big up Sean saying, top 4 battle again, ale. Fuck accountancy FC. You're big up, man. You're big up, ain't that facts? Big up. Big up to JCT. Big up, bro. He says, mate, our club is cooked. I don't want Jamie Gittens because every player we bought from the German league has been a flop. And I can't watch another season with that bozo in goal. Look, Petrovic, there ain't no way he ain't going to be starting over Sanchez. There ain't no way. That's the one thing that I don't think we should worry about. I don't think Sanchez will be our number 1 this season. My only annoyance is that it won't be Maignan. That's my own annoyance. In terms of not wanting Jamie Gittens, look, I understand it. We have a different recruitment system to the last crop of Bundesliga players that we signed. So, and even then, not every transfer is the same. So I'll give Gittens the opportunity. He's a good dribbler at least. He's direct. But he ain't no needle mover, and he has to show that he can be the needle mover. So I'll just give you the rope. I just give you the rope. Do something with it. Do something with it. And we'll see. Man like Coochie Eater. Shout out the Coochie Eaters up the Chelsea. The Argentine... Oh, brother. Man said Garnacho will cook here. Oh, brother. Wait, is the deal off in general or just before this deadline? We were told that we were going to walk away if we don't get it done by today. That's all the sources were saying. All the briefs were saying Chelsea will walk away if it's not done by the Tuesday deadline. So until I hear different, or until I hear that we are still in negotiations, that's what I'm going off. That's what I'm going off. I don't know why. But with Gittens, with Ekatike, we were all told that it would go further than the deadline. With Maignan, we were only told Tuesday. With Maignan, we were only told Tuesday. Donnarumma on sale for €40. I don't even know what his wages are. $214K a week, probably less likely. Probably less likely. Can anyone name genuine 5 to 10 world-class players who play for top clubs that fit our wage structure? We found one and let him for a 4 to 8 million difference. I would have said Kvaratskhelia last season. I would have not sure about if Tony would classify as world-class or not. Maybe it depends on your determination of it. Rodrigo, I think, would still fit our wage structure. Or close enough that you would just stretch it a little bit for him. And we were told we break the wage structure for him anyway. In terms of other names, who would really stand out? I'm not too sure. Highest wages in European football. Otherwise, I'm just going to get a ton of Saudi wages. Transfer market must have that. No, it doesn't. I don't know. Whatever. I'm gonna give up and just say I don't know. You know them ones. Gyökeres, they're saying Gyökeres, I hear that. And yeah, that's the only one. Remember when people were saying a few days ago that we're never gonna pay 55 million euro? So Pletikol just got the currency wrong then. It wasn't 55 million pounds, it was 55 million euros. Hey, at least we didn't get bent over in the Maignan transfer though. At least that happened. Oh shit. Yo, big up Ilya saying our goalkeepers only gave up 3 more goals all season than Magic Mike. I don't think he's the goalkeeper you think he is anymore. Look, I understand that, but like AC Milan, I think also had massive injuries into their team and also have just been a fucking mess in general. Way worse of a squad than ours has been. Way worse. Way worse. Maignan is better than all of our goalkeepers, Ilya. He is. It would have been a level raiser. I appreciate you. Big up the donation. Big up for the donation, everything like that. But Milan's defense, nope. I think their injury problems, nope. Sorry. 34 goals conceded by Sanchez and 10 clean sheets. Yeah, what an error leading to goal that is, mate. What an error leading to goal that is. But big up, man. Big up to Kingping saying Rob Sanchez. Fab tweet. Screaming fab. Is there a fab tweet? No, there isn't. What am I saying fab for? What the fuck? He said Rob Sanchez probably got the Epstein list and saw Igbali on it and is blackmailing him because I can't believe these men walked away from Maignan. Shaking my head. Yeah, you know, it was probably Ben Jacobs, man. Probably Ben Jacobs. Yeah, PB, man, cope. Keep coping, man. Keep coping. I agree he's better, but I'm not that sad about it. Look, fair play, man. That's your opinion. That's your opinion or your feelings. If you don't feel that annoyed about it, fair play to you. Fair play to you, you know? I do. I'm really annoyed about this one. Big up, though. Big up to JC. Big up, JC. 12.5 million evaluates Mike Maignan at 62.5 million pounds on a 5-year contract. That's reasonable, Lewis. We can go back in January. Petrovic deserves till January. Petrovic, keeper of the season in France, should get a crack. Look, I hear all of this. Maignan is better, though, and I wouldn't want to, like, have a crack for him for next season. Because I also, by the way, you have to make sure you get Champions League next season too. If we don't get Champions League, Maignan won't want to join us anyway because we won't be in Champions League. And in terms of like 12.5 equals 62.5 on a 5-year contract, brother, respectfully, JC, I think this is again copium because ultimately we're not paying 62.5. We would have been 12.5 or 20 or 30 million, or I don't care. Go and get me a good goalkeeper that is clearly there. That is just there. A level raiser, an experienced level raiser that has been proven over the last 4 to 5 years. Would have just wanted that. And Sebastian, I hope you're correct. I really do. Because then I'll be able to come on here and say, like, you know, all that annoyance, all that anger I had, it was for nothing. And great. I am happy to be wrong. I would be so happy to be wrong. So happy. Because then Maignan would be here and, like, you know what, the team would be doing well and all of that crap. Like, yeah. Love to be wrong and for us to still be in negotiations, but I just don't see it. Just don't see it. But in terms of Petrovic, look, JC, I'll give you that, like, if we can't get Maignan, he'll get a chance and he deserves that chance based off the last season. But if Maignan was rolling through, you know what? Sometimes you don't get what you deserve. Sometimes you don't get what you deserve. Because if the badder bitch walks in, take that. Take that. Yeah, he might have deserved it off last season, but big up to JCT again, man. Big up to you. Big up for the donation, man. God bless you. He says, well, I hope I'm wrong about Gittens. He might cook, but I've seen the type of players these idiot owners have brought. We need experience, and they're buying 18-year-olds. Sick of it. Is Gittens 18? I thought it was like, what, 20, 21? How old is he? 20. Yeah, he's 20. 21 in August. 21 in August. Look, I hear all of it. Some of the transfers have worked. Some of them haven't worked. A lot of them are still up for debate and all of that. But, like, this is the thing with transfers like Gittens. You have to at least let them. You have to at least put them in the kitchen and, like, see if they can cook. That's all you can do. Because if that's not the case, then all the anger you have over the transfer, you're putting it on the player. When you'd rather have that frustration over the directors and the owners not bringing in the experienced name that you want. But even then, like, I think of experienced names like bar Rodrigo, there's not anyone that I'd outright say bring that I think is realistic. There's not a single one. Each one of them has a bit of an if to it. But yeah. Man said buying the badder B over selling the cute girl that's about to glow up. You know what, Jeff? Fair enough, man. You got to laugh at me with that one. I like that spin. Man. Big up to you. Big up to you, man. Big up to Sultan saying we are far off not because of the squad. It's about the we're far off not because of the squad. It's about the owners not having the mentality to win. I am pissed that we are not that club anymore. Big up Lewis with the content and save Chelsea. We are far off, not because of the squad, but because the owners don't have the mentality to win. I'll be so real. I feel like the Maignan one kind of feels like that. So I understand it. I understand everyone having any doubts over the owners and the sporting directors, because this to me feels like another L. This feels like another L. But yeah, you got to blame the government for that one, though. They're the ones that just ripped Chelsea away from Roman Abramovich. So now we got to do the whole profit margins thing and everything like that. I hear it. But who knows? Maybe these young players can all grow together and like, yeah. I don't know. Or just liked Maignan to have pulled through as well. I'd be so much. That would have like been such a level raiser for the team, in my opinion. So much. Problem is, like, it's tough to answer those ones anyway, because the players still have levels that they need to grow to. You don't know where their final like thing is. You don't know where it is. I like to think that eventually they all grow together and then we'll all go and win the league. Right now, I think we're a couple of transfers away from it. So, like, I'll still say I don't think we're far off. But the problem is, like, will we close the gap? Because it's the summer and this is the season where I want to see us close the gap. I want us to be contending for the Prem this season. We've done top 4. We've got top 4 now. Now go and get us. Well, go and have us contending for the league. Go and have us contending for the league, man. Simple as that. But big up Sultan, man. Big up. There's probably one transfer that's going to happen today, and like that is Gittens. We also heard that Sarr has been confirmed as a Chelsea player. We've also heard that Dario Esugo has been confirmed today as well. So, yeah, at least some new names have walked into the door. Welcome to Chelsea, Dario. And yeah, that's the Dario Esugo one. And yeah, Mamadou Sarr is all quick fire questions. I don't give a damn. Just realized I really don't care. But yeah, cool. Keep bringing up Osimhen. I don't know what happens with Osimhen. I'll be so real. I don't know what happens with Osimhen. Really don't. But yeah, whatever. We'll see what happens, man. Big up to Bertram. Yo, big up, man. Good to see you in here. Not surprised fans are demented and forgot the sporting directors. Well, in terms of the Maignan transfer, yeah, probably. So frustrated, man. So frustrated, this one. But yeah. Yeah, I don't know what happens with Osimhen. I really don't. It'll probably end up being another loan thing. Ain't he got a year left on his contract? No, 2027. He's got 2 years left on his contract. Peak. Yeah, sure. Sure thing, brother. Sure thing. Midfield backup Isugo, Caicedo won't get injury. Ale. Yeah, like yo, I got no problem with Isugo or Sarr. No issues there. Absolutely no issues over there. Isugo as the Caicedo depth. Him or Leslie, depending on who gets loaned. Depending on who gets loaned. Big up to Irish Yellow saying these directors and owners need to go. We here for it, man. We here for it. Been saying when Stewart out, we already know that. Clear Lake fix up because they can't fucking sell. And all of that shit. But whatever. Whatever. Calm. All good. Right, let's get this link out. We'll see who's about. Big up to every single one of you that's locked in and all of that. And yeah, I'll see you in
That's not Jabo. That's not Jabo. That's not Lewin. That's not Jabo. That's not Jabo. That's not Lewin. Jabo, 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 Lewin, 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 Jabo, 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 Lewin, Lewin, Lewin. That's not Jabo. Jabo, that's not Jabo. Jabo, that's not Lewin. That's not Jabo. That's not Jabo. That's not Lewin. One man let on himself. That's not Jabo. Want to Jabo. That's not Jabo. One man Jabo on. That's not Lewin. Want to open. That's not Jabo. That's not Jabo. That's not Jabo. That's not Jabo. That's not Lewin. That's not Jabo. That's not Jabo. That's not Lewin. Jabo, 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 Lewin, 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 Jabo, 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 Lewin, Lewin, Lewin. That's not Jabo. Jabo, that's not Jabo. Jabo, that's not Lewin. That's not Jabo. That's not Jabo. That's not Lewin.
Nearly done, guys.
That's not Jabo. That's not Jabo. That's not Jabo. That's not Jabo. That's not Lewin.
Enough of that. Big up Scott, man. Big up Sultan as well, saying praying to grow together. Already starting to sound like Arsenal fans. Big up Sultan, man. Again, that got a laugh out of me. Fair play. Accept the reality, Lewis. Don't fall for the PR stunts. Save Chelsea, bringing Chelsea back to winning days, not project built. But here's the thing. I'd love to believe that if that wasn't what the project was. Sadly, we have to hope the project works. Otherwise, we are fucked. And we are really fucked. I'd love for us to just do what we did Roman era. A decent chance for us would have been this move at least, or Maignan, but
that's cool, mate. We're just going to end up like giving into Dortmund with what they want for Gittens, and everyone will forget, and they will do the same with Ekatike, and everyone will forget. It's fine.
Yeah, but at least we didn't get bent over for the Maignan one.
Yeah, no, facts. At least we didn't get bent out. We didn't get bent over for 1 out of 3 deals. It's progress.
Fucking yeah, great, fucking brilliant. I don't get it, man. Like we will like try and negotiate and meet the valuation for a much higher overall fee for so many players.
No. I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna stop you right
this
there.
One,
we don't negotiate. I said this in the chat earlier, and we've been talking about this in the group chat, in Joey's group chat. We don't negotiate. These sporting directors, and I can't wait. By the way, I just wanted to say first of all, I cannot wait for the contrarians to come in and come on and be in the chat. And do all this nonsense. All these contrarians that wanted to cuss the sporting directors out after January because they didn't sign a striker. We just needed a striker. You should have signed someone. The whole of January they were telling about there's no one to buy. Why? What? No, who's buying? No one's buying. No one can spend money. We shouldn't just buy people and then spend the entire time bitching for the second half of the season about we didn't have a striker. Cool. Summer comes. Why are you bitching? Trust the sporting directors. They know what the fuck they're doing. That's cool. So if things don't happen, I don't want to hear you bitch when the season ends. Sorry, when the summer ends. I don't want to hear you bitch. Because you were the same dude calling. You were the same dude calling for these. You were the same people calling for these sporting directors' heads, rightfully so, because they did a shit job. And then when they have the ability to do something, you say they're doing a great job, and you want to defend them. Then when the window closes and they can't do fuck all, you want to cuss them out and say they should be sacked. Make it make fucking sense. So I just need to get that out there first of all. Second, I was going to say about these sporting directors. They have a complete inability to negotiate and finalize any deal that doesn't have someone holding their hand. Like legit. Neto, that was Jorge Mendes. Most of the City Academy players have Joe Shields involved, and basically all of them. Look at who we've signed. We signed Delap this summer. So far this summer, and obviously it's only 10 days. We've signed Delap, which was a release clause, and a City Academy player, and we signed a guy from our sister club. The moment you have to actually do some work and do your job, you completely fail at Maignan, and you're about to pay exactly what Dortmund and probably Frankfurt are asking for when it comes to the prices. I looked in April, by the way, so we're talking 2 months ago, Florian Plettenberg reported that Dortmund wanted 50 to 60 million euros for Gittens. We're about to pay that. So you spent 2 months negotiating for fucking nothing. For no reason.
Oh, mate, you're kidding
You literally
me.
negotiated
I'm that now.
for no fucking reason.
I'm finding this one now.
Bro, it's April 26th, I think. Just search Plettenberg Gittens, bro, and just scroll and it's on there.
Yep. On there now.
50 to 60 million euros. I went and looked. 55 million euros is
50 to 60 million euros right there.
Bro, I looked. 55 million euros is 46.5 million pounds. They want 45. We're giving them what they wanted to begin with.
Yeah, we just got bent over by Dortmund and Milan, actually.
And then they will tell us at least we didn't get bent over for Maignan and it was a fucking 5 million difference.
No, it's cool. Though.
I mean, by us not buying him, I think we got bent over by Milan.
People will do this cope thing and then the transfer dopamine hits and it's cool and when the Gittens things happen, people will forget. But that's cool. That's cool. That's cool. Like I said, just contrarians, bro. Just people want to do the contrarian shit. That's fine.
Just the amount of copium I've seen as well about it. So, but like he's got a year left, or we can get him next season, or like at least we can give Petrovic a chance now. It's like, okay, cool. You man wanted to talk about UCL money and everything, and like using that to get better players through the door. We have an opportunity that's open because we have the Champions League and they don't. And what? Now we're trying to use that for fucking what? Now we can't even get that across the door. Like the fuck? Big up Prime, big up Jimmy, big up Joey, by the way. Big up all you guys.
A quick one though, yeah? Because when the news broke, I was watching Ziad and Jimmy, innit? And then they were watching Fabrizio speak about it, yeah? And Fabrizio was saying that he said the deal wasn't off. Like from what he was saying, yeah, he said the deal it's off for this Club World Cup thing, window, whatever. So he clarified that and he said that we never bidded 18 million, which apparently was what people said recently.
It would have been the 15 million euros thing that was our last bid.
Yeah, he said that bid was not right. It didn't happen. And he also said that the deal's off for the Club World Cup deadline.
Yeah, current. So I think my problem with this is a little bit different than everybody else's. Okay, like to me, it's not necessarily the Maignan situation in itself. It's just like
big up, Kai.
These guys don't have. There's no like. How can I say this? There's nothing holding them to what their job is, in my opinion. Like, for instance, right? Like, we can go all the way back to
Fresh
last
ass
year
panel, man.
for just a second. Like, last year we sat here and we spoke about us needing a striker, right?
Yeah.
We went all summer, not worrying about the deadline, not worrying about anything, just pushing things until the end of the window, and not getting it done in the end. It's like, that's my problem. It's like, we always set these up. We're setting ourselves with these deadlines, right? We have this deadline to get, and this is more on the Gittens side of it. It's like, there's this, we try to play games and go through with Gittens. We are always going to go to Gittens. And in the end, we sit here and we waited. We waited and waited and waited and waited instead of just trying to find a deal. And like we're waiting until the last fucking minute before the fucking Club World Cup, and then we're ending up having to fucking pay over the odds again.
No,
This is the same
Joey.
thing that happened with every other deal that we waited for, other than pretty much Osimhen.
No, but
Like,
Joey, what you don't understand, brother, is they had to negotiate down from 55 million euros to 55 million euros. So I don't understand why you don't get that.
Yeah.
I just don't
He's
get
happy
how
one thing I'll get done today.
you can negotiate. You're negotiating backwards. It feels like.
No, they're not negotiating, bro. Like,
backwards.
there's no negotiating going on. It's Dortmund are going, this is the price, and they're going, but we'll pay you this. No, this is the price. We'll go up like 5 minutes, but we'll pay you this. No, this is the price. Eventually, we just get to the price. They went, this is the price. Like, there's no negotiating, bro. It's just them.
They
like,
already
just
paid
saying,
50.
right? Yeah, bro. We bid. They want 45 million pounds, which is, I don't know how many
60,
euros
around
that is.
60.
I know
I think
46
our
and a
last
half.
bid was
55.
42 million pounds.
Well, it's sad that we didn't do that for Maignan.
Million.
Bro, it's not even Mignon, man. Like this kid, whatever, man.
Oh yeah, but I've just had a look. By the way,
That's a
42
waste of
million
50
pounds.
mil, man.
By the way, 42 million pounds
50
is
million
nearest
euros.
makes no difference. 50 million euros. So we're
Yeah.
paying them what they
They
wanted in the
want
first place.
55 million euros. That's what we're gonna pay. 55 million euros.
Whoop whoop.
How much did that
For a guy
kid
who all
from
of us
Napoli
are
go to
saying
PSG
we want as
for?
our backup, by the way.
65, 60 something.
Jesus Christ.
Oh, there we are.
Fucking head hurts, bro.
Yo, Jimmy, I know you're waiting to cook on the Mignon situation. Let's hear your side, man. Let's hear your side, bro.
Is it okay to talk? Or you know what I mean?
Oh yeah, you good, man. You already know we ain't no echo chambers. Whatever. I know you got a different stance to it, so I'm interested in your point.
Jimmy is gonna defend like O.J. Simpson's lawyer, bro. He's gonna go all in, man. We know it, man. Go ahead,
Oh
bro.
wait, pies. Apparently that one's fell through as well now.
Wait, they fit 45, or
Yeah,
just
yeah.
the deal.
Gittens apparently has fell through as well.
Lovely.
I don't know who Kevin Pinot is, but
Fuck.
Dortmund insider.
Gittens stays. Chelsea failed to find an agreement with Dortmund.
I'll be real, man. I don't want him, man. Fuck the guy, man. I don't want this.
Ah,
Kai,
there we
Kai,
go,
Kai,
Kai. My guy, my guy,
I don't want
Kai,
this kid.
There we
Kai,
go,
I hear you,
Kai.
but
Oh, let Kai
Kai, are
cook.
you ready?
Let Kai cook. Can you
Oh,
Kai,
I
are
want
you
either
ready for
Kudos or Rodrigo, man. I don't want this kid, man. I'll be real, man.
No, Kai, I hear it, but are you ready for Kyrie Georgia left wing?
talking?
Ooh. Now we just have to make sure we don't get Nashes, bro.
Yeah, dude, Garnacho is the next
No,
target.
but even then, like Gittens was this
If we
one
get
we already
Garnacho, man,
told from the
Scott is gonna
start.
lose it, bro.
Oh wait, for this one
No, I just
anyway,
want-
we
I
already
want
know.
to Yeah, I might go online.
You understand with Gittens, there was already sources before saying that this would go past the deadline anyway.
Yeah,
They're just gonna keep negotiating.
Yeah, this was the one. Like, well, this wasn't just the one, but this one, like, it came out said they're happy to wait, despite the fact that we're going to start the Club World Cup with Tyreek George at left wing. They said we're happy to wait.
Tyreek George.
I told you guys yesterday. This is gonna be Nico Jackson with left wing. That's what we're gonna see, bro.
Oh, I need it to happen, brother. I need it to happen. Inject it.
Listen,
Hey, man,
Yo.
we have the balls, man. We
Well,
gotta pull up to the Bernabeu
so let me.
with Delap up front and Sanchez at the back, bro. That takes
You know
balls,
what I
man.
mean? We're gonna win the Champions League.
We're getting serious on Club World Cup as well.
Yo,
man.
what? I'm trying to understand. So what's the overall? What people so upset about? What's the problem?
Well, it looks
mean,
like we're
Because
done
they
with
didn't
the
get
whole
him
Mignon
before.
deal in
They
general.
didn't get him before the Club World Cup. That's why everybody's upset.
No, not before the deadline. It was just we were told that if it weren't done by Tuesday, we'd walk away in general. So it seems like we're walking away in general, and that's what I'm annoyed about.
Okay.
If this continues past the deadline, I don't give a damn. Just get him in before the start of the Prem. I don't care.
So all right. Okay. Let me see something. I'm not the best at math, right? So y'all got to work with me. It's June 10th. Right. The transfer window closed September 1st. Right. All right. So June 10th, September 1st. This transfer window, this not even transfer window. This transfer, I don't know what to call it. It's not even a window. It's not quite a window.
So why are we getting dog eat by Patch, bro?
Listen,
period.
Yeah, I don't know what to call it.
I don't know what you're about.
This little transfer, little opening. I'm glad they didn't do anything stupid. I'm gonna say this. Hold on, I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna say this. I hate Paul Stanley and Wayne Stewart, whatever their name is, but you know what? I got to do this for them today.
What did they do, bro? They
Good job.
No, whatever he said, let him land.
They did a great job. You come to me and you say to me, "Hey, I got this goalkeeper for sale." You like, "Oh shit, okay, I ain't want a goalkeeper, but shit, this nigga is nice." How much? 30 million. Nigga, I got 15. I got 30. I got 15. Well, I won 30. Well, I didn't want your goalkeeper. I got 15, or you can take your goal. You and your dark skinned goalkeeper go back to Italy. What the fuck? I don't really see the big deal. It's exactly what I thought it was. I have no fucking problem with it. I'm like, first offer was 8 million. I'm like, they didn't come to Chelsea. Didn't I said maybe his agent reached out to Chelsea? Why would I'm not gonna go to you and be like, how much you want? You like 30, and I'm like, here's 8. Nah, nigga, they came to Chelsea on some broke shit. They came to Chelsea like, yo, we got a goalkeeper. And let me guess, I don't believe those reports, but the same nigga who told you the other reports you believe. So just like everybody else, y'all believe what y'all want to believe, and I believe what I want to believe. I believe that.
But bro, who reports that Milan came to us?
I don't know. I've read. I was up this morning. I was on.
We came to them.
Like
we asked
5
them about
a.m.
them. We
Have
a look.
Now we asked about him. How much is he gonna be? And they said
no, we
for
did
30.
not. They offered him.
Look it up, bro.
And Chelsea
Yeah,
said,
I'm
okay.
having a look. I'm having a look.
Chelsea said, okay. What's the
Nah,
price?
Chelsea the one inquired about him. They were interested in him.
Chelsea did not inquire. You talking like you was in there, nigga. We gonna read
Bro,
the same
I was there
report.
talking to
the same
negotiate the deal
reports.
too, man. Look it up, man.
The same reports. Yeah, briefs. Briefs is what you wear underneath your clothes that hold your balls up. I don't want to hear what y'all talking about. I don't want to hear it. Y'all want to pick out the parts of the report that make y'all feel nice. I'm just picking out the parts that I believe.
It'll make Paul
I don't
Winston
care
feel
about
nice, bro.
feeling nice. It's just what I believe. Yeah, that's why it's always been reported as Chelsea saw this as an opportunity. Chelsea saw this as an opportunity. Chelsea, so I'm like, I don't know what.
No,
I
they
didn't
did
know how
a
to
lot
read.
of briefings saying that Maresca wants a new goalkeeper.
That's
and,
bullshit. I don't believe that. That I don't believe. Because now the same briefings, the same people who said that are now saying Maresca never asked for a keeper.
It's
I mean, you ain't
PR.
seen that.
I don't think
It's
Fabrizio
PR.
said that. Those
Tell
are where
me you
the
ain't
other
seen
ones
that.
are coming from.
The
It's
same
PR.
people
Like, I
saying
told
he
you.
never
Wait,
asked for a
wait.
keeper. So I don't believe none of these motherfuckers. I'm sorry, I
all-
don't.
It's
I
all
don't. I
PR.
just don't believe them.
Wait. So the Fabrizio one, he didn't say anything about Maresca like not wanting him after that, but he said a lot about Maresca actually wanting him. So he didn't go back on it. It was Ben Jacobs and Simon Phillips that did, and they both did at very similar times.
And so and I'm gonna say it again. Y'all, everybody act like every fucking thing Fabrizio Romano say is Bible. When from the beginning, when they said, "Oh, Maresca said he want a goalkeeper," I said, "Why would he say that?" The day that shit came out right on here, I said I don't believe that. Because why? It completely ruins your bargaining. Your manager gonna come out and say, yeah, I need a keeper. Who the fuck would do that? If I'm the owner, I go right down to his office and slap him in his face. Why the fuck would you? Why you think every time you hear them say, no, I'm satisfied with the player that I have. I'm satisfied. Every new manager, you notice they all say that. I'm satisfied.
Yeah.
I'm satisfied. Because then now a motherfucker could be doing all the negotiating that they want. And in public, they're saying, I'm satisfied with what I'm having. Of course, the motherfucker gonna want a better goalkeeper. I wanted the better goalkeeper. Who the fuck don't want him? But if the circumstances is you offer him to me and then you tell me I'm paying 30, number one, he ain't worth 30.
They didn't offer him to us.
I don't give a fuck how emotional y'all get, how bad y'all want him. He ain't worth no 30. He ain't worth no 25. He probably worth 15.
Jimmy, can I ask you a question then? Do you think we should pull out the Gittens thing? Do you think we should pull out the Gittens thing? Because you said we wouldn't pay and he wasn't worth no 55 million euros, and now we're paying that. So should we pull out of that?
I never cared about Gittens.
We already
Okay. So what we're saying is it's just contrarian then.
What do you mean?
It's just you're just being a contrarian then. That's what
How am I being a contrarian? From the fucking beginning.
This one.
Do y'all hold on? Do y'all not remember the day one when me and Daniel was going back and forth on how we felt? Daniel said we didn't even argue about it. Daniel said his side. He said, Jimmy, I would pay the money, and I said, Daniel, I wouldn't. I said I would bargain it.
Here's
down
one from Simon Phillips yesterday.
$1. That's the first day.
That is true. That is true.
I don't have time for that. Who the fuck got time for that? I don't do that devil's advocate shit. I said it from day one.
I'm pretty sure we're the one who went to them about him.
$85 million.
I don't think
I always say that. Don't give in.
He's the number one goalkeeper. They don't even want to negotiate for him. They want the price and that's it.
PRCD, man. PRCD.
Yeah, the one I it was us that approached him from what I remember. In fact, I'm
100% sure, bro.
Okay.
Chelsea approached AC Milan.
I want you to go on Ornstein's page, who don't do anything for engagements. Did he have one report about this?
By the way,
Not one, right?
But Ornstein was also the one who was dropping the whole Caicedo Liverpool. That one's going to happen, and Fabrizio was the one that was quiet on it.
Him, and I'm pretty sure, multiple reports said that we wanted him.
Ornstein didn't say.
Clearly, someone is lying then.
Yeah, just again, Gittens negotiations will continue.
So these journalists, you gotta watch them. You gotta look at it and be like, what's really going on here? Yeah,
I know, but from what I've seen, it's like we've approached him.
Yeah, we have.
There's been a lot of briefings from multiple sources about how Maresca does rate him and he does want him in the squad, and we've briefed that ourselves. And then now, when it's not going
I'm telling you that I'm not one of them Twitter niggas
that we have for one position.
Ziad, I don't even have Twitter, bro.
If Ziad is here, he can tell you where that shit was, where the motherfucking report was saying they approached Chelsea. I didn't make.
What did he bring it up on the big screen?
I'm not a Twitter dude, so I don't really know how to follow.
Did he bring it up on the big screen?
Yeah, he brought it up on the screen.
All right, calm. I'll go back to his stream then. His stream. Just give me a little sec then. I'll go find whichever one it is.
I still couldn't find that Gittens shit. I'm with Kai. Like a lot of people didn't want Gittens, and then they mad we not getting them. I keep the same energy. Shit, I don't mind that fell through.
I don't want that guy at all, man. I don't
go through and go get somebody else. Shit.
Everything.
I don't know, man.
What I thought it
was the brief, man.
It was a source that said Milan approached us, right?
Yes. I just thought that we were
I don't feel like we moved the needle at all.
With Mike, I get where you're coming from, but we've been linked with Gittens for fucking almost a year, almost over 6 months now. Like, it's not like this thing where we haven't been linked with them for a while. We've been linked with this guy for a while now.
Is he the important winger that Fabrizio was talking about, though? This Gittens guy?
Let me just finish. We were told that before the beginning, at the end of the season, we were already pre-planning these targets. We only got the lap before the World Cup.
We've been linked with Gittens since January.
We've only gotten the lap before the Club World Cup.
Look what this dude type. Look what dude type. Hey, hasn't Ben Jacob been the man? So
Ben Jacob isn't close to Fabrizio.
Oh, watch your mouth.
Or this summer, bro, everybody knows that.
Hang on, did you just cuss out Ben Jacob for tweeting one thing and then tweeting another thing? Like the complete opposite thing.
No, that was Simon Phillips, bro.
And that was also Ben Jacobs. Lewis literally said that earlier.
No, bro, I said Simon Phillips is who the fuck I said told us
You're having
to want
conversations in your own head.
he wanted a keeper and then turned around and said today that he didn't want. I don't know nothing about what Ben Jacobs
Ben Jacobs said the same. Lewis said he said the same, and you heard that, and you chose to ignore that and just point in a point. You're having conversations in your head. Like legit, you're having conversations with yourself.
That's not what I said.
Oh, it was from Sky Cover. That was it.
Put your skirt
Okay,
down.
now I found it.
What did Daniel agree to?
Sky Cafe got linked some Italian Di Marzio then. That's how.
Yeah, even Sky Cover to me. That's because he usually only gets briefs, but it seems like it was from him. I'm just trying to find the quote to pull up. Chelsea were not looking at recruiting a goalkeeper until they were offered Maignan. This is the one that Jimmy was on about. Unlikely to sign a goalkeeper.
I made it up. Fuck out of here. Well, let me guess. Nobody don't believe that.
There is more reports saying otherwise.
Hang on a second.
We have this discussion every transfer window. I don't want to argue about it. He asked me my side. I told you my side, and then all the estrogen just started flowing out of y'all niggas. Like I just told you how I feel.
Why did Ben Jacobs said that we weren't linked with a goalkeeper in the summer?
I don't need the apologies, Josh. These little fucking virgins in the fucking chat. I don't need no apologies. I didn't make it up. I told you.
Hey, Lewis, I'm gonna send you something as well because I got a screenshot from back in February that
I swear
we were linked. We were linked to a goalkeeper back in February, but we don't know if it was Maignan.
It's the wrong discussion to have. Does he improve us? Yes. Did we sign him?
This idea that he's being a contrarian. Daniel, didn't the first day we talked about this? Didn't I say I would wait and negotiate, and you said you would just pay it off from the first day?
For which player?
No, you did. Jimmy did say that.
Yeah,
Jimmy was talking about negotiating it down. He did.
Yeah, I said that first day. I said I wouldn't have no problem if they had to take this down the road. I wouldn't need him for Club World Cup. I said
you guys are having
hold on.
Danny said he would do it now because he wouldn't want to risk it, and I said I would take the risk.
My whole thing was
that I'm just now saying that y'all tripping.
Hold on, my whole thing with in our conversation when we had the conversation then was one, I don't trust them when it comes to taking risks because usually their risks end up just like this. But two was that I think where we split off was Jimmy said, listen, if we don't get him, I'm cool. I really don't care if we get him or don't get him. That's where I disagree. I said you can negotiate all you want, but I care if you end up not getting the player. That's a failure. If you don't end up getting the player, then negotiating starting for 5 million or 25 or 2 million, to me, that's a failure. So that's where we split and what we were saying. I don't think anybody cared about you negotiating. No one is going to be upset if you sign Maignan for 12 million. It's just that most of us knew that was never going to happen.
Not going to happen, bro. France number one, bro. They're not going to get them for
listen.
I never care. You ever notice all the shit y'all ever get y'all panties in the bunch about?
Yeah,
it always worked out. So who wasted their
bro, they paid 25 fucking million for Sanchez, bro. And they can't pay the money for France.
Yeah, but we got buy one, get one free on Ben Roberts. Don't forget.
That
was a favour for Brighton.
I don't understand how people can defend this.
One at a time, guys.
I think all I want to say is I think it's fair for you to say, listen, I don't rate this player. I don't care if we get him. Or I don't do this. I don't. But after how this board has moved time and time over, you can't defend how they move or how they execute what they want to execute. Like, I was listening to Scott earlier talking about the Gittens thing. Bro, listen, we know for a fact they ain't going to, if Dortmund asks for 55, they're going to pay 55. They're not going, it's not going to be.
That's what Dortmund do, bro. Play with Frankfurt. You're talking about two clubs that have done this before and know what they're doing.
Yeah,
and we've got amateurs. We've got amateurs. But we've got literal retards trying to negotiate this with elite selling clubs. Like,
that's we're gonna have these conversations. We have these conversations, and people are like, "Listen, if it's for 40 million, I'm cool with it. If it's not more," and the frustration that comes with me is like, "Bro, you know it's gonna be more. Like, you know that they're not gonna pay 35 million for Gittens. So using that as like if it's 35, I'm cool. If it's more than 35, I'm not cool. What you should not be cool right now because it's gonna be more.
Yeah,
that's my mindset. This is how I think. If I see you do something time and time over, I'm gonna expect you to do the exact same thing time and time over again. That's my expectation. Some people don't move like that. Everything is a brand new day. It's a fresh new day. You know, when they're investing in the stock market, they don't check what the market has been for the last 15 months. They just well, listen, this stock is doing well now. I'm gonna put all my money in this stock.
They check.
Big up
They
to
check
you.
it after everything crashes, Daniel. That's
Yeah,
what they
big
check
up to
as well.
you. I look at what's happened. I'm saying, has this company been good for the last 15 years? No, this is just a weird spike. Yeah, I'm good. I'm not putting my money in that. But listen, we're all different. If you fail to get this guy when the summer ends, that's a failure. I still stand by that. I don't like Petrovic. I don't like Sanchez. They can prove me wrong when the season starts. Those people who like them, I can understand you guys being like, okay, cool. But if you don't like those guys and you're not upset with them not getting by Maignan, that's where I that doesn't make sense to me. You can't not like Petrovic and not like Sanchez and be cool with them not getting this guy. It doesn't make sense.
I agree with that.
At the end of the day, like you have to look at the signings that we made previously from these directors. That
also, who gave you guys the indication that Petrovic is gonna start next season, bro?
We don't know.
I don't understand where
we think that because he's better, but yeah, I agree. At the end of the day, we don't.
That's a very good
I don't
point.
understand where people got.
From my understanding, Petrovic has a release clause too, so we're really up a creek if someone decides to.
There we go. These secret understandings.
To me, I think it's more of a hope, right? People really believe like, Sanchez is the worst keeper that we have, so there's no way Petrovic doesn't start. But I mean, listen, I thought that was going to happen this year. After the year Petrovic had, Sanchez had, I thought there's no way this guy's going to be my keeper again. It's just not going to happen. But he ended up, listen, man, he finds a way. He finds a way to stay. I don't know how he does it, but he finds a way.
I know the way. No one's going to pay money for that scrub.
Bad day for the RTKs, man. Everyone's got it wrong.
There you go. They rejected.
They don't care what you don't care who you get, bro. They care how many.
But interesting enough. I want to see if their whole
theory. Oh wow!
I want to see if their whole theory was, listen, we can sign any player as long as they're young because we can flip them. I want to see how you flip Felix this year.
I want to flip Mudryk as well.
I want to see how you flip Felix because you signed him last year. The wages was cool, right? Because the wages are everything. The wages was cool. You signed him for 15 mil. Let's see if you're able to flip that easily this year because no one wants him at the club. So, what I always hear is we get these young guys because you can easily flip them and make your money back or make the money off it. All right, cool. I need my 50 back. I need my 50 back this summer.
Would have been easier to flip than João Felix.
I need that money back. Felix is young. You can flip him. Everything people like. I need my money back. I spent 50 million for no reason. I need that back.
55 million for him, man. It's crazy, bro.
If they can get that back, then I would agree with whatever theory these guys have. All you have to do is get these young guys. It don't matter how much you pay. It's all about the wages. And then if they don't work out, you can flip them easily. Well, this is just something to prove that you can flip them easily, right?
They're gonna get.
They care about the resale value as well. Like,
25 million.
If we buy Gittens for 55, like, how much resale value are you talking about? If we turn
like I said for Terry, all that is based on what they do.
You guys are talking about resale value like it's like this even thing, right? Like it's not like resale value is to be able to get your money back for the person, at least some of your money back for the person that you got. Not necessarily if they flop. The idea of it is that you're going to get something back rather than them sitting around like Sterling and Chilwell are, where we don't have any opportunity to sell them because their wages are too high. That's what I was talking about yesterday. So if you want to take my words from the words that I had from the other day and use them against me again, at least use them right. Like that's not that's you're using it as they must get 50 back. What the fuck? No,
the whole
hold on.
That's only the wages. That's not real though. Also, like if you pay 64 for a guy like Mudryk, even though his wages are low, he's never gonna be sold for 64 again.
All that sounds good, but first of all, I wasn't even talking about you because you weren't in my mind. That's number one. But if I want to address you specifically, right, and what you said about if they sign this player, if you sign a bad player, it don't matter what wage you have him on, people are not gonna want that bad player. That's number one. They didn't pay anything for fucking Chilwell.
Yeah,
they gave him a new contract. They're struggling to get rid of him still.
4-year contract.
So that to me it's like signing whatever. All that makes if a player flops, a player if a player flops, a player flops. You can't get rid of him when he flops. It's going to be hard either way. So what I've always pushed against is like this idea that no, you can if you get Maignan and Maignan doesn't work out, it's gonna be hard to get rid of him. But if you get Sanchez and Sanchez sucks for 2 years, you can get rid of him easily. We haven't got rid of him. He's still there.
Isn't Sanchez like 27 years old too, man?
He was on sale last summer. He's making like 100K.
There's where the whole thing is skewed. He keeps using players that are in their mid to late 20s as examples for this. You use Mudryk, who's fucking banned. We can't even sell the guy as an example.
How much is Sanchez? How much is Sanchez on?
We're sitting here cherry picking in places that doesn't even make sense.
That's cool. How much is Sanchez on?
What you're talking about, bro?
How much is Sanchez on?
I'll check. It's not low.
Fuck out of here.
It is.
Fuck out of here. You don't even know what you're talking about. You don't know what you're talking about. You just
Here we go.
It doesn't fit what I spoke about.
Here's an emotional rant. I know. Wine, emotional rant. Emotional rant. Wine. Stop crying.
That was emotional. You just don't know what you're talking about.
Guys, what did I just say is going to prove whether they're right or wrong? Wasn't it Felix? I used Felix, right?
Daniel, Felix is how old?
Did I not use Felix?
Daniel, Felix is how old?
Did I not use Felix? 25. Okay. They signed him last year. He fit their model. Did he not?
Somewhat.
Daniel, by the way, to answer your question, Sanchez is on 60K.
Because they tell me it's the wages, right? The wages are the reason why you can't get rid of these guys. One is on 60K. You signed Felix last year for 130, 150K.
Dude, the window's been
get rid of them.
10 days and you're talking to me
it's like it's their quality as well. They just don't want to accept the reality that these.
But didn't I just say we will find out? I said we will find out. My man got emotional and started crying.
The window's been open for 10 days, and you're. Why haven't we sold Felix?
Did I ask that question?
About Mamadou Sarr?
Hey, when did I ask the question? Why haven't we sold Felix? I said Felix is going to prove whether or not they can get rid of guys easily. Did I not?
Just give you an example, man. It's not. He didn't tell you that. Why can't we sell Felix?
Mamadou Sarr. Anybody?
Example, bro. This example that what we're speaking about, right? This example we're speaking about.
Fellas.
Why is that a bad example? We signed him last summer, and now we're moving him around Europe like a fucking $25 whore.
Nah, Reed George. I'm trying to do it fast.
Running down the wing, in Chelsea, we are going to.
And if Benfica do take him back, they're not taking him for 40 or whatever the fuck we paid him. They're taking him for 20, 25.
I think the only offer we've had is 25 million.
Yeah, it's half the price. So where's the sell value there, bro?
Where's the resale value for Sterling?
Who signed, bro? They signed Sterling too. Well, what does that change?
Okay, so where's the resale value?
What exactly is the argument you're trying to make, bro?
My point here is when you buy these players that are older, right? And then you put them on higher wages, it's much more difficult to actually get rid of them. We're not getting anything for Sterling. At least you're getting something for Felix. Do you see the difference is what I'm speaking about? That's what I'm speaking about. Because you can get
no one disagreed with that. Nobody disagreed with that.
Just a little reminder, the transfer window closed in 90 days.
You don't even know what we're talking about, bro.
I've been listening. Nobody disagreed with that.
The thing I will say with the young players thing is that we just don't have a case study to go off. The closest thing we can use is the Cassidy thing. Because all the other young players they've bought that have failed or that they've had to flip, they haven't yet. Fofana's still here. That Joe Fofana has had 4 loans at this point.
I mean, they flipped Angelo, right?
Yeah, but Angelo had a good season. My point is more if it or I think the point Daniel made is more if it fails, even if it fails, we can still flip them and get our money back. The only one we've really done that with is Cassidy, to my knowledge. We did that with Moreira, but we got him for free, so you were always going to make profit on him. We did it with Cassidy, got our money back.
Hutchinson.
I think he's the only one. Hutchinson's not the argument here. He had a good loan and we sold him for profit. The argument is if they do shit, we can still sell them for a profit anyway. So it's less about.
I don't think it for me. It was never sell them on for a profit. It was more
not sell them for a profit. Sorry, get your money back for them.
For him. That was literally what I'm talking about here. because you can't recoup anything back from buying Sterling and Chilwell and putting them on $250K a week. That's my point in the end. That's it. You're not going to recoup nothing back from those guys.
Yeah, Sanchez on 60K. I'm just looking at the wages right now. Yeah, Sterling's the hardest one.
Maignan resale value would still be good.
It'll be hard to get rid of Sterling and Chilwell. Possibly
they're not leaving. They're leaving on freeze, brother. No one's buying them.
They didn't sign Chilwell. They decided to give him an extra deal. That was on them. But
That's
secondly,
right.
guys, do we think we're gonna get something for Nkuku in the summer?
Yes.
Yeah.
Probably. But
Why is that? He's old and he's on high wages.
He's well appreciated in the Bundesliga. He's well appreciated. Bayern have been linked with him for months.
Oh man.
Bayern got Club World Cup and they still didn't even try to push for him before that.
Yeah,
They'll push for him later. They don't need him right now.
I don't think
because they don't need him
a
right
lot of
now.
people don't care about signing people.
Then do they need him afterwards?
I just don't get this sentiment. I don't know why like everything is like so like negative, like the club's in disarray or whatnot. Like the transfer window did just open. Players are going to, I mean, we haven't even like entertained outgoings. I don't know why we're crashing out because no one's gone in 10 days. I just feels like that's a little bit premature.
Brother, it's a Club World Cup.
Yo, y'all
What
get him.
What the fuck are you talking about?
Get him, yo. Get him, yo.
What are you talking about as
Positive
well?
shit out
The
of
Club
here,
World
dude.
Cup. Of course you want to get.
So, wait, hold on. Fato. I don't know why I'm taking you seriously, but you're telling me that we need to get outgoings out for the Club World Cup. That's the pressing issue right now. Is that what you're telling me?
I said incomings, not outgoings.
I'm talking about outgoings.
You never said outgoings. I swear down. You
Oh,
said
shut up, man. Just stop. Just stop.
Since we're entertaining,
How about you shut up as well then? You fucking yellow
since we're
arrogant cunt.
entertaining this stupid conversation, what's more important for the Club World Cup? Incomings or outgoings?
Incomings.
Cool. So what the fuck is your argument then?
I said, did neither of you hear what I said? I said, why are we crashing out over out?
Stupid. That's why I said I don't really want to address this.
No, you didn't hear it. You didn't hear it. Shut up. You didn't hear it. I said, why are we crashing out over? Let me talk.
You said, why are we crashing out over incomings?
I said outgoings. I said outgoings.
One at a time. After you kiss my ass, how about that? I'll let you talk after you kiss my ass about that. Exactly.
I said, why are we crashing out over outgoings so early into the transfer window?
No one's crashing out over outgoings.
Wait, do you guys just say crashing out is that like a new young thing?
Yeah, you retarded. Like genuine question, Juriska.
Bro, wow, you guys. Hold on. So I say, why are we crashing out over outgoings, and then you proceed to crash out? Like, I'm the retard guy. Yeah, keep going.
Guys, you're all talking over each other. Fucking hell! No one can hear either of you.
You're actually stupid. Like, no word of a lie. No one crashed out over outgoings. Daniel's point to start the outgoing talk was he just needs to see the outgoings we do in terms of Felix to know whether this model and this plan that people have of we can sign young players and it doesn't matter if they're shit because we can recoup what we paid for them. He needs to see if that can work. Literally, no one else mentioned outgoings.
What's it called? That I agreed with that statement. What my first statement was? Hold on. My first statement, I don't get the negative sentiment about, we haven't got any outgoings out for the club. And then Fato intervened with, we need outgoings for the Club World Cup. And I'm like, that's not, like, what is that? Like, there's no...
Hold on. So before you said that, just quickly. So before you said that, does my statement in saying, I want to see if their model works, if João Felix is able to be sold and flipped easily.
I agree with that, Daniel. I agreed with that.
But that was the only thing I said. So how does that?
No. Hold on.
Quickly, how is that crashing out over outgoings?
No, wait, Daniel. I agreed with you. I'm not talking about you. What you said. I agreed with what you said. What I was talking about was just an overall sentiment about outgoings and like we're like the wages and thing like. And it was Fato that intervened. I wasn't disagreeing. I agreed with what you said. I'm talking about the overall sentiment just in the stream. Talking about outgoings right now. Like I'm sure we can. Hold on.
Agreed with his point. Your point doesn't
spoke about it because of the nation of the England.
Okay. Wait. So we can all agree that there's no issue with outgoings. That we don't like. We're gonna because who brought up in Nkunku? Who was it? Joey that brought up in Nkunku, or who was it that brought up in Nkunku?
That was Daniel again.
It was me.
Okay. There we go. So when we're talking,
it delved into these old guys can't be sold. My whole thing is that these when a player flops, right? If you pay 70 million for a young player and he flops, it's going to be hard for you to move that 70 million player, whether or not he's 21 or he's 27. Now, someone might take a chance on that bum, and you might get out of it for a few dollars. But as you've seen with other clubs like Sancho, Antony, all these guys, if you suck, people ain't trying to buy you. No matter how young you are. That was my thing, because Nkunku also has sucked for us, but he doesn't suck as a player. That's why we're still going to get something from him this summer. We're getting 0 for Sterling because he absolutely sucks. The same way, like Scott said, Dacho Fofana has been here for 4 years on 250 euros. He's not proved nothing to get sold. People are waiting for his contract to run down and get him on a free, because why would I pay money for that guy? Right? In the same way, Cassidy can get flipped and sold for however much. So yeah, I just don't agree with the low wages thing. I don't really agree with that.
Yeah, the thing with the Cassidy thing as well was part of the reason you could afford to like make your money back on him was because you paid nothing. I think we paid 13 million for him. So yeah, getting 13 million, I think we got 10 and it was a profit on the books or whatever because of book value or however the fuck it works. We made money because it was such a small transfer fee. You can do that with Cassidy. That's harder to do with a 45 million pound Felix. It's harder to do with say we have to sell Jackson, for example. I think we can with Jackson because at least there's a good season there, but it's harder to do the more money you pay. So that was where the conversation about outgoings, outside of that conversation, no one brought up outgoings. No one crashed out. Yeah. No one was like losing their heads. We're talking about incomings.
The first word I used was negative sentiment. I used crashed out later, but my issue, I think I jumped in after the Nkunku discourse because it just seems too early to be negative about what about Nkunku? How are we going to do with him? Because the transfer window just started. That was the point of my intervention,
brother. I think everyone understood that outside of you.
The discussion anyway. I mean, those are like
tongue in cheek. No, I'm sorry. That's a cop out. That's just a cop out.
Nobody will say it was a tongue in cheek.
Do you think that? Sorry. You know Daniel, yeah? Like you've been on streams with Daniel. You understand how he talks. Like you think Daniel was being serious when he was talking about how, like, when he said, "How are we going to sell Nkunku?"
I think he was putting it up there. I think he was putting it out there that hypothetically it's going to be harder. I don't think he was saying, "Oh my god, we're screwed." But to say like, "Oh, tongue in cheek," or he was joking. I don't think it's that.
I was comparing it to the Sterling thing, right? Because he said we paid Sterling is on high wages. We paid money for him. He's older. It's going to be difficult to get rid of him. I said that's not going to apply to Nkunku because even though he's old, he's on high wages. We're going to get money for him. The problem is Sterling was absolutely dog shit. That's the real problem. He just sucked.
Okay.
It's not that he was older, and because even if you're older, if you're good at, like, people will still want to get you. Like people still wanted to get Kovacic, all these guys who were on higher wages. Nobody wants Sterling because Sterling is not good. Is not going to do anything for them.
Okay,
the problem is to me, and but I also think that applies to the young players as well. If unless they prove me wrong in this summer and they're able to get whatever, because that's what Roman and Marino were able to do, right? They'll sign a guy who we don't know is not, oh, this guy sucks, but they'll find a way to get their money back. You know, I get 55 million for Morata. I paid 60 for him. He was here for 1 year or a year and a half. I want to see them do. If they do that, then yeah, it's justified. But I got to see it,
bro. I'll be real. I don't like the fact that they sign players with the first thing that the thing on their mind is how much we can recuperate if they fucking fail, man. I'm sorry, man. You should be building squads to win things, not if things go wrong, how much I could fucking cash out back on the. Because then you're more guaranteed to lose your money than actually fucking get anything for the player.
Yeah, it's fucking.
I mean, it's something you have to consider as a business.
But you have to consider, but obviously you always consider it, but you don't consider it as the first thing you think about whenever you're buying a player, bro.
It's probably not the first thing that they think about.
Well, on the pitch it says otherwise, bro.
You know what happens on the pitch? So get you money, win.
They're telling me Nkunku is in. Who do you think is older, Nkunku or Osimhen?
Jamie Gittens, apparently very frustrated with the developing situation, has just drove away from the training ground at high speeds.
Of course, he's like 12, bro. Of course, he's a teenager, man. Of course, that's what he's gonna do, bro.
I think this works in our favor. I think it works in our favor. Huh?
Yeah, it does a lot. Gittens is known for being a baby.
I said this is Gittens, bro. Where is it? Where is
Oi,
it?
yo, look at that. Yo, that is fucking wild.
It's fucking peak.
Hey, Jazz, this is your
Gittens
guy,
said,
man.
I hate my mom.
Oh, this whole transfer period's been fucking
Hey, man.
crazy, man.
I
These
hate
boys
my
are
mom.
gonna pull up the Champions League final one day, man. It's gonna be
My
something.
second, why? So he drove Ferrari like. I was like, yo. what the
Basically, maybe nearly hit someone.
fuck? Oh,
Oh yeah,
can
Maldini, that was fucking unreal, man. The trips down memory lane I had yesterday, fucking hilarious.
no, there was that car
Ugh.
crashing on Johnny. That was hilarious, though.
Can I say one other piece of concern, or is that going to be too negative? If it is, I'll let Jimmy can go, because then I don't want to be too negative. You know? Jimmy, we need proper
Say your
Chelsea from you,
piece,
man.
man. Say your piece.
Huh?
Oh no, wait, we got the video footage too.
What is it? Oh,
Oh, he's mad, bro.
Okay, that's not that bad. Yeah.
I mean, in
that's
that area,
definitely hyperbolic.
It's a 30 zone, by the way. It's 30
I ain't here to
kilometers.
tell you niggas, y'all gonna be as negative as y'all want. I'm here. I got a little piece of bread to soak up the tears.
What that didn't show was like the poor family of three that he hit on the way out.
Yeah.
I mean,
Motherfucker Daniel put it
Like, Ziad, pull up, man.
Big up, because you might need a lot of bread for this one.
Bro, you can see him even wearing the kit, by the way. He didn't even change.
My concern, it's not even negative. It's just logical, right? My concern is like, even if you are trying to build with guys for them to all get better at the same time, right? Moving forward. The problem with that is, which I don't have a problem with, because I think Caicedo, Enzo, and Palma are going to their third season playing together, right? Next season is going to be their third playing together. Enzo is going to be going into 25, Caicedo into 25. They're all getting older. Where, to me, that's good. You've built that core that can grow together. The problem with that is that once they're growing and they're getting to where they need to get to, instead of getting guys in that can gel with them immediately, you're getting guys like Gittens, right? Gittens has to grow. Yeah. Unless someone tells me Gittens is ready right now, he has to grow as well. So are they going to wait for Gittens another 2 years for Gittens to grow to match them? Or how are they going to be able to achieve their goals of winning titles with players like that coming in?
I think what the priority is getting in profiles that fit with the squad instead of getting in experience, because getting in experience for experience's sake is redundant. So
it's kind of a given that when we say bring in a player to Chelsea, his quality, right? So that's
no. It's not about don't. I didn't say quality. I didn't say quality. I said the profile. The profile has to fit specifically. That's what I said. That's not
cool.
Quality.
Where the profile fits, but the player is bad, would that still work?
But Gittens isn't bad.
I was about to use a perfect example for that.
Gittens isn't bad though.
So then, what are you telling me about profile for?
No, I'm saying because I'm guessing you will like, okay, so for what position do you want to go over? Like the left wing, like saying getting somebody like Rodrigo or something like that. Gittens would probably fit being a touchline winger better than somebody like Rodrigo, even though Rodrigo is, the more established name. So that should be it's not. Huh?
Rodrigo's the best side man going right now. He's ready for his starting role.
Big up. Cool.
So it would be better for the team to get Gittens because of his fit. They get Rodrigo. That's what you're saying.
I'm saying the priority of this summer window should be to get in the better fits for the team over just getting in bigger names because of their experience. That's what I'm saying.
Okay, cool. But with the players that you just used, do you believe that? Because that was the example you used.
Yes. I do believe that. Yes.
All right, big up.
He believes.
No, man.
Yeah. Sorry, just really quickly. How many games have either of you guys watched of Bino Gittens this season? Nice.
Wait, hold on.
Nice. Fantastic.
Can I respond to that?
I mean, this season is in the bin for Gittens.
Oh, hold on. I'll respond to that.
That was dual scope mic drop. Nah, chill. Don't fuck up his mic drop. He dropped the mic.
No,
Nice.
Wait, so you trust? Wait, hold on. So you trust mine? So you trust mine?
Come on, let him.
I've let that nigga waffle for too long. Well, I'm close friends with a Dortmund fan, bro.
You guys are mad, bro. Oh my god.
I don't watch Dortmund.
Oh my god, no.
Jez does.
Big up LGBTQ community, bro.
So
I watch as well. Some of the get in this game.
Sir, shut up. Go back to your DMs. No one cares.
Chill. Let Prime.
Wait, Prime. So you're going to bring me somebody else's reference on a guy that you haven't yourself watched? Yeah, get that brother out of here, man.
Wait, everyone. Let Prime land. Let Prime land.
You don't know who I'm talking about. Jez, who actually watches.
Get Jez in here, man.
The way Jez speaks about Gittens. Nah, the thing is, I don't even think Gittens is a bad player. Profile-wise, he probably does fit, but he doesn't take us up the level that we actually need. I want to bring in. I want to bring in like ready quality now to make that jump because we're actually not that far away. If we make the right signings, we're not that far away.
I agree.
And Gittens, he's probably going to take another 2 years, maybe 3, and we're not at that point right now.
Definitely not. And again, how can you make that assessment if you haven't watched him?
Because the next best thing is to go and find someone who has regularly and get their opinion on it. Because they'll have if they're level-headed, which I know who Prime's talking about because I asked him as well. I've said this before. I didn't even preface it. I didn't say I don't rate this player. Tell me all the bad things. I said I'm interested about this player. I don't know. Tell me. He told me. Okay. And there were red flags, major red flags.
Wait. Can I give you?
Wait. No, before you go. And the thing is, right, Scott. Like I kind of even disagree with Jez. I don't think Gittens is actually bad. I think he is talented, and in terms of being a touchline winger, I think he actually is good. However, he's still very, very raw, and the way we're at now, we're very much at the point we don't need to bring in another young raw player that's going to take a year or 2 or 3 to develop. We're past that stage.
I agree, but at the end of the day, that's where, like me and Daniel said this before, and I'll stand on this. If Gittens comes in next season, cool. I don't particularly rate him, but if he comes in next season, cool. He has to hit immediately. I'm expecting immediate impact. I'm expecting better production and better performances than what was here last season. Immediately.
That's all I ask for. You can bring whoever you want to bring in, right? As long as they're ready. You don't watch. You're right. Just quickly. You're right. I don't watch these guys in the Bundesliga. I don't got time to be watching Bundesliga games. But if you watch Bundesliga and you know that he's coming in, he's going to be the right guy, top guy, match the 3 players I just mentioned, right? Palmer, Caicedo,
match
or
he's going to match. He's going to match.
Those guys he has to match. I think he has to better the wingers we have, but he has to match those guys in terms of
because that's what's going to get those guys or get us ready to win a league title and challenges. If players match those guys in quality and in performance, right? If you're saying he's going to do that, then say it. Say it right now. He's going to do that for us next year. Then cool. I got no argument.
I have watched him multiple times last year because this race is really invalid for him. The new coaches, the stuff that happened in Dortmund, that wasn't very good for him. Last year, from what I've seen, I can tell you right now, guys, I think Gittens is going to do way better than Sancho, at least here. It's not that much of an upgrade, but he's going to do way better in the style he plays. So I don't know if it's enough for Champions League, for winning. I don't think it is. I think Rodrigo would have been better, but Gittens is still an improvement.
Okay. So I think the one thing I do want to say, Daniel did say that upon everything else, what he wants is level raises, and I do agree with that. And I think ultimately that is the most important thing because, like I said, as soon as we got top 4, my goal for next season is to be within a title charge to some degree. I think where we can make the signings that will make a difference is in the striker position. I think wherever we do in left wing should be a bonus, but the issue is like when we come up against low blocks, the strikers that are proficient in those circumstances, that's where we should be looking. So if we're talking about getting in level raisers, you can like the big names that I feel like we're looking in the wrong direction to make the biggest impact. I think the striker position is much more likely to yield a better effect.
So
But they made the decision.
Who would you sign? Who would you
I-
sign for striker?
I agree, but we're not getting a
Yeah,
striker.
who would you sign for striker?
Personally, I would sign Benjamin Sesko.
You're
Who
fucking
again? Okay,
Well,
who again? Wait.
Well, he's
Who
going
again?
to Arsenal,
I have watched personally, and I know, and who I know would be considerably better, obviously better than what we have, and I think has the level to go up in a system that prioritizes him, which Leipzig doesn't, and would also has like considerable box dominance that there are very few strikers in world football can rival. Just
You're
so
the only-
so wait, hold on, wait. So wait. So Scott called me a fucking idiot. Can you name me more? Just rattle off names of
a lot of
strikers that
people
have
did,
better
yeah.
box dominance than Benjamin
Oh,
Sesko. Please,
I
please,
can just
There you go.
one. Victor Osimhen is
Okay,
one.
cool. Another one, please.
Delapa is better than Sesko.
Yeah, the last.
Box dominance. Nice one. Give me. I said specifically box
You're
dominance.
saying that, you only say that, by the way, because Tesco's like
Hold on,
7
hold
foot
on. You know
tall.
what's funny? You know what's funny?
Does that not fucking contribute to it? What the fuck? What
No,
stupid thing to say? Does that not contribute to his box? Oh,
no,
okay. Let me just saw off his legs. Let me just saw off his legs so that he can fit your fucking narrative.
Instead of being retarded,
You are a dumbass, my friend. I've literally just exposed it in two questions.
Instead of just spouting shit like you usually do.
Oh, just
Bro,
shut up, man. I'm actually not. I'm not happy with you. I've exposed you in two questions. You're a clown.
Wait. Scott has to clap
I'm
back,
about
to
to
be
kill
fair.
your
Go on.
height argument, by the way, because Ekatike's 6'3" and Tammy was like 6'4", and they both suck in the air, and they suck
Okay.
in terms of being box
Okay.
dominant. The height isn't
Okay.
anything, you dumb fuck.
You know what's funny, right?
Okay, but that doesn't apply to Sesko because he actually is dominant in the air. He
Okay,
actually is
so
good at
that's
jumping.
cool.
He actually is good at heading the
Hey,
ball. Tammy wasn't. Tammy wasn't. Ekatike he's good at jumping, but he's not good at heading. Sesko is good at heading.
Hold on,
So I can
Scott,
back to your
quickly,
argument.
Scott, quickly.
You know what?
Scott,
Hold
just
on,
hold
hold
on.
on, guys,
You don't gotta
hold on.
argue this. You don't have to argue this
Hold on,
like
you
this
know
whole
what?
thing.
Retarded, man.
You see, wait. No. Because I'm done being patient with you guys. Yeah, I'm not gonna let you guys all have one turn each before I get to respond. You guys are talking about players you don't watch with so much vim and authority.
No,
Just
but
say
hold
you
on,
want big
yeah.
names, and we'll leave it at that.
Hold on. But you're saying not watching, that's fine. But you're the only guy that watches Sesko that actually rates him highly. I know Bundesliga fans that have
Again,
watched Sesko.
stop arguing vicariously through other people. Like,
What do you mean
can't-
vicariously? He's not good.
He's not good based on what someone. I saw that someone said it in it, but I agree with that person. I didn't say it in it. I didn't see it either, but someone said it, and I agree with that person. Bro,
I
this
mean,
is.
you can just look
I'm
at his
so.
numbers.
I'm so sorry. This is childlike analysis. Like you. This is why. Wait. No. Stop. This is what I said at the beginning. You guys just want to be negative for the sake of being negative. If
It's not
like.
negative for the sake of being negative.
No,
You're
you can go fuck yourself. You can genuinely.
I can go fuck myself. What an argument, Scott. You are fantastic. You are fantastic.
You were definitely one of these people, by the way, crashing it on these sporting directors for not doing nothing. Now you want to suck their dick and dick ride them. That's cool, bro.
Wait, hold on. If you really must know, I crashed out on the sporting directors in the January transfer window because we didn't go after Sesko. I wanted us to go after Sesko in the January transfer window so that we could rectify our season. That was specifically what I was mad about, and I was mad that they bought a Mugu, and I was mad that they were doing deals for Strasbourg, but they're not doing that now. They're focused on the starting 11. They're going after profiles we need. They're going after profiles we need in Gittens, and they're going after a second striker. What do I have to complain about?
You're so dumb for wanting Sesko, bro.
Based on what someone else told you about him, you are cringe, Prime.
It's Arsenal's top target.
This is sad. This is actually sad.
Only there's a website with statistics.
Come on
People who watch him week out say he's not good.
I watch him week in and week out. He is good.
Hey, nice try, Jimmy. Nice try.
Why are you a scout, bro? Why are you a scout?
Nice try, Jimmy. I saw that. I heard it.
Listen, Scott. If you've got contacts to get me, hold on, Scott. If you
do it yourself, bro. I ain't doing fucking anything.
If you've got contacts, please send them my way. I promise you, I'll make them proud.
Why aren't you a scout?
Just swing me the contacts. I beg you.
Wait, Scott, can I say something really quickly before you guys, keep insulting each other? My only thing is this: if you are, because Sesko is coming to this league, right? So you're upset with the board for not going for Sesko. Sesko's your guy. What
I'm
can
not
we
upset.
What can we expect from him next year? Because he's coming to the league, or is it a situation where he could only work at Chelsea?
No, I don't think he can only work at Chelsea. I think he would probably do well for Arsenal as well. It's like I said. I don't think he's the finished article in terms of his box dominance, but he has very good movement. I think he works really well with wingers who cut the ball back to the edge of the box. We have Pedro Neto. He does that very well.
Check your Twitter.
What's it called? He is he's very good at finding space in the box to near enough the back post to score headers. He's tall. He jumps very high. His issue at Leipzig is that they're playing a 4-2-2 or somewhat. They're not. They prioritize Openda over him. They use him as some sort of utility player where he's just literally. I watched the game where all he did for like 45 minutes was head the ball down from throw-ins. They misuse him thoroughly. In a team like Chelsea or Arsenal, or any sort of possession team that wants that favors crossing, he will do very well there.
So you think
Arsenal fits like what can help him elevate to that next level? You feel like?
Yes.
So when he comes in next year, so when he comes in next year, are we expecting him to be one of the best strikers in the league?
One of the best strikers in the league, yeah, sure.
Right. How many goals do you think he's going to score next season? I
can't really predict that, but he won't be. He won't be better than Haaland. He won't be better than Isak.
No.
He
goals, bro. I don't need to say he's better than
he won't be better than Delap.
No. I'm not asking him to be the best striker, because if you're better than Isak and Haaland, you're the best in the league. I'm saying like, is he going to be in that in that bracket of like, if we're saying 1, 2, 3, he's definitely 3. Do you feel like that he's of that level or no?
He could be. What I'll say is this: he's closer to those. He's closer to those guys than he is closer to like a Solanke.
You notice he never gives like a full answer. Like this.
Yeah, because I don't have a crystal ball.
No,
I don't have a crystal ball. I can't say definitively he's going to score 19 goals.
Give me a range.
I'm just trying to gauge.
Give you a range: 14 to 19.
Just quickly, I'm just trying to gauge because like what I think sometimes we misunderstand each other with these things, right? Because for me, what I want is a player who, even if they're not at the exact same, they're not better than Isak or Haaland, I want them to be on that level, right? Where when I show up in the game, I know if he gets 3 big chances, he's scoring 2, that type of thing, right? So that's why I wanted Osimhen. That's why I was cool with Gyökeres, because they have that kind of a reputation of that. Not just the names, but these are 1 and 2 strikers. Every 2 games, they're scoring a goal. That's why I'm asking you about Sesko, right? Because we've gotten Delap. Delap is in your mind, Delap is the second striker. I see Delap and Sesko around the exact same. You see it differently, right? That's why I was trying to gauge, like, okay, where do you see this striker going in scoring? If you believe he's going to get 14 goals or something like that, or to that level, and his impact is not that of those guys, then we don't want the same type of player. You get what I'm saying? I'm not saying I watch the guy, because I don't watch the guy. I don't watch Bundesliga. But I'm saying, based on what you're saying, right? If you're saying he is that level, then cool. The club is making a mistake not getting him. But if I watch him next season and he has 12 goals and he has 22 big chances missed, we're going to have a conversation.
Yeah, no, 100%. I'm willing to be hung to my position. The only thing I will say last thing I'll say about Sesko is one-on-ones. He is quite bad. One-on-ones, he is quite bad at taking one-on-ones, but long shots and crosses, he's very good.
No, but at the end of the day, he's gonna get 25 big chances in this league. I want to see what he does with it. That's all I care. Like, whatever type of striker we've gotten, think about it. Last year, our striker missed 20 big chances. The year prior, it was more than that. The year prior, it was more than that, right? All these strikers are different. Havertz is not the same striker as Jackson, right? He's not even close. Havertz is not, and he's not the same striker as Werner. Not even close. All these guys are different, but they all still get 30 big chances every year, whatever their style. This is why when I say I want a guy who can finish, that's why I don't care about the style of play, or does he fit or is he not a fit? Whatever fit they are, whatever weirdos they are, they still get the same amount of chances and they still miss. So whoever is coming in, You can't fit the style and all that, but still miss big chances. So I'm gonna have a problem with that because you're gonna get whoever comes in is gonna get 25, 100%. The lap is gonna get 25 big chances next year. I can say that comfortably now. Let's see what he does with it.
Dwayne Scope, I got a question. How many goals Sesko will outscore the lap next season?
What if Sesko goes to Arsenal, will he outscore the lap? Probably.
Mhm.
It depends if Arteta uses Sesko as his out and out striker, or if he keeps like favouring Havertz. But if he uses Sesko from game week 1 to 38, he probably will outscore Havertz. The lap.
If he stays in Leipzig, will he outscore the lap?
Absolutely not.
No. They don't play to his strengths at Leipzig. They don't at all.
Yeah. Just to bring back, I want to bring a super chat I saw go past while we were talking about this because Alios said again for Sesko, don't look at stats. Rose played him in the 10 to only head the ball after a hoof ball. But he's too weak. Defenders will have a field day. I take it you saw him playing the 10 as well as the 9 last season then with Sesko.
It's just there, by the way.
Because I know Alios, like he's Slovenian, so like he watches Sesko basically week in and week out.
Yeah, I mean, I wasn't watching Sesko the whole season. I started watching him from around about January to the end of the season.
And seen a demo. Okay.
And what's it called? And from what I saw from the second half of the season, that was my assessment.
Wait, so you were crashing out in January over a player you didn't watch?
No, it was not about that. It's about the opportunity.
No. You said that earlier.
It was about the opportunity. I was crashing out because I was not getting him.
You were crashing out because you didn't get Sesko in January, but you said you just started watching him from January onwards. Which is it?
No,
I'm confused. Make it make sense.
Okay. No. Listen. Let me simplify it for you. I've obviously been a fan of Sesko.
I'm using your words against you.
Wait. Let me speak then. Wait. Okay. So I've known about Sesko and I've liked Sesko and I've watched Sesko not consistently, but in the past I've known about Sesko. When I heard he was available, wait. Let me answer. Wait. When he was available when there was a report that he was available in January, I said we should be over that because of the situation that we were in. I was more willing for us to take a gamble at that point because we were on the verge of missing out on top 4. Now, since then till now, I've watched him extensively, and I can say he is borderline the correct option for us to get this summer.
But you
only watched 50% of the season. Then that's not.
So you hadn't watched him. So you wanted him based on not watching him.
Man. You missed
No. Wait. Hold on. You do realize that there's wait. You do realize there's a difference.
Wait. Nothing. You
do realize that there's a difference between.
You just watched him from January onwards.
I don't. Okay, go on. No, go on. Finish it now. Go.
I'll get your point out, bro. You're just stuttering, bro, because you've got me caught out.
Scott, you're pressing him, but to be fair, I don't have a problem with that. But do scope only watching Sesko for 50% of the season, whereas we know people who've watched him for 100% of the season and say that he's not that good.
It doesn't matter. So, you're still arguing. Bring those people. Bring those people, and I can talk to them. I don't want to talk to you about what somebody else has said about him.
Jazz,
just quickly, Jazz, have you watched Sesko regularly? Because I know you watch Bundesliga in general because of Dortmund.
Yeah, I do.
And also, and then the thing is this.
Well, do it, Scott. Okay, Jazz, what would you say about Sesko specifically, seeing as you've watched him for a lot longer than any of us have?
Big up, Jazz.
Yeah, big up.
First of all, fucking hell, bro. I'm just here looking for like the last 5
It's straight chaos today, man. Sorry.
No, hold on. I need to straight. Hold on. All right, cool. Yeah. My thoughts on Sesko. Yeah. I think he's a decent striker, but I don't think he's the type of striker I'm coming in. And my expectation front line is you help me leading the team get into a title job. Like for me, if you want to get top 4, he's fine. At this moment in time, I think he's fine at top 4. He can develop his game still. I do have a big question mark because I've been actually watching him since Salzburg, not actually since Leipzig. And obviously, you guys know the whole Red Bull link and all that. He's been playing in this 2 striker formation since he's been at Salzburg. So now moving to Leipzig, that's been the same thing. So for me, I have never seen Sesko, unless it's for his country, and even for his country, I think sometimes he plays 2 up top as well. I never see him leading the line for a team by himself. So that's for me a big question mark, and I think it's not wise spending that much of money that apparently he's rumored for to have him out there and then expecting him to come to the Premier League where he's going up against a lot more physical defenders and expecting him to have high numbers. I just don't think he's worth it. I think it would be even more wiser for him to stay at Leipzig for another season, to be honest, and develop his game. But I do agree with the point that I don't know who the guy is. Obviously, I don't know everybody on the panel big up, but I do him. I do agree with that point of he is not the priority striker in the system. It's Openda, but I also think Openda is the better striker between both of them. So it's worth it to have Openda being the first option striker. So I don't know if it's wise for Chelsea to go and trying to come in for Sesko and then expect him to go and help them win the league title. It would be the same thing like what's his name, Jackson at this moment in time, in my opinion. And it would be the same. It would be the same thing. Even to be honest, I said it already. I don't even think it's necessarily right for Chelsea to go for Etitika as well.
Nah,
even
that's
though
hilarious. This guy.
I think Etitika is a baller. I don't even think it's right. But yeah, that's my thoughts on Sesko, to be honest.
Thank you, bro. Thank you. I didn't even know that he was only doing 2 striker systems.
Yeah, he has not played long striker.
He rarely leads the line by himself.
No, unless it's his country, but I don't watch.
Dual Scope, what do you have to say to that about? Because you told us the system don't suit him, but we're hearing something different. I don't know.
What do you mean? He literally agreed with me.
How? How did he agree?
He literally agreed with me. He literally said to prioritize Openda, which is exactly what I just said.
Because Openda is better. You're saying it's like. I mean, you're saying no. I'm just going by what he's saying. You're saying they prioritize Openda, and it's the wrong thing for them to do because Sesko should be prioritized, right?
What's it called? Yeah, I mean, it's fine for them to prioritize Openda. That's okay for them to do because it's a high line and Openda's quick. He runs in behind, so that's totally fine for them to prioritize Openda. I think saying that saying that prioritizing Openda is the smarter course of action. I think maybe for them, but generally speaking, probably not. But even still, my point is this: if you prioritize Sesko in this league, he will outperform by and large his statistics in the German league.
I think that was my other argument, though. Even though I agree with you the fact that he is not getting prioritized in the Leipzig system, the fact of the matter is he never played lone striker in his career since he's been at Salzburg. Salzburg, he's playing 2 up top. Leipzig is playing 2 up top. So it's not. I never seen him at the top level leading the line for a club. That's what I said. So I think 2 things can be right.
Yeah. I mean, I think I can answer that to one of 2 ways. Well, 2 ways. I think one, I don't think it's like, I think the whole thing about like him not playing in like a one man formation. I think if this was like maybe like 10, 15 years ago, that would be a concern. But I don't think it's like that drastic of a drop off when each team in the Premier League or in any top team tries to attack with 5 players. So he will have people in and around him to support him in attacking phases. And if we're worried about his like hold up play or something, like I think he can do that to a good degree. I've seen him do that. So I don't think
his hold up is actually decent. I think my issue with him is that he likes dropping deep quite a little bit too much. Maybe
yes, I agree with that.
Of how Leipzig is playing at the moment, but that is my problem. Is that Chelsea looking for a goal scorer, and I don't think he has necessarily shown the signs as of right now to spend big money and believing that he can come in immediately and score goals. That's my problem. I think that's the issue with Arsenal. I think why I think they shouldn't sign him either personally, but they're desperate for a striker. I don't know. Like I said, I'm not a striker guru. I watch Leipzig a lot, but I'm just giving my opinion on Burton. I just don't think he's necessarily ready. I don't even think that somebody like a Hugo Etitika is even ready himself to come in for a big money fee and people expecting him to be a goal scorer. But in reality, Etitika is not a goal scorer either. But again, it's just all expectation if you've seen the player play or not.
Yeah. No. I think. Shit. What was I forgot what I was gonna say. But yeah. No. I think with I remember now.
Another gamble.
Yeah. I mean, what's it called? I think with the transfer fee, I think I'd be happy paying around about 70 mil for Sesko. I wouldn't want to go anywhere above that. And I think, and I think what's it called? I think I do agree with you that he does have some things to work out, but I think the difference between Sesko and Ekitike is if you're bringing in Sesko, you would be probably asking him to more or less simplify his game in order to be more effective. And I think that would work better for somebody like him. Whereas with somebody like Ekitike, you'd be buying him for his full skill set, like being in the box, but also dropping deep and running the channels and all of that. And with that, it might be too much for somebody so young in their career to handle at a club like Chelsea.
No, wait, bro. If you think we signed Sesko, do you think we wouldn't want him dropping deep and getting involved in build-up play? Like that's one of the key things.
Not as much as he does for Dortmund and for Leipzig. Because I think for Leipzig, he drops deep a lot because he's not getting the ball, and then people criticize him for taking weird shots, but it's only because he's not getting the ball in areas that he can be more effective. So he's just spot shotting it because he's literally not getting the ball in the box not once. So yeah.
No, but does that mean he won't be asked to contribute to build-up play though?
I'm not saying he shouldn't contribute at all, but I think you can just reduce it a bit. I don't think he should be hanging on the halfway line when we're trying to run for a counter or something like that. He can
not
obviously
a counter, obviously, but there's times where you see Jackson drop into the midfield, get involved, and then either ball carry or lay it off to someone else and then make a run.
No,
I mean, every once in a while, but I don't think that should be one of the major things we're hanging our hat on for him. I think what I would say, I look at Sesko and I see somebody that can seriously damage low blocks, which we tend to face and struggle with. That's my, that's my focus with Sesko.
Can I make a counter argument then? But as of right now, because obviously I'm not a regular Chelsea, I'm not a Chelsea fan, by the way, but so I don't know what Chelsea be trying to do. But don't you think that Chelsea would rather prefer a striker that provides goals, but also wants to do the chopping deep stuff in order? So it's
we have the lap. We signed the lap.
Strong, so
the lap is very good at dropping deep, driving from deep, riding contact.
No, I know that about the lap, but I'm talking about Sesko though. Because I do think both.
I think it's okay. It's okay to have two strikers that have split strengths. I don't think you need to have I don't think you need an all-in-one striker. And we've already signed the lap, so it's not like we're pontificating about it. We've got one who has some strengths. We can sign Sesko who has different strengths.
Wait, hang on. Our guys trying to hold on. Our guys trying to contemplate bringing Drew Hill to Chelsea.
Not guys.
Yes, bro. All I'm hearing is just bare words, bro. Just waving that shit. Just words. Just words.
It's only for the Gittens thing.
There's no
let's even on Git. Right, go on, Ab. So we'll get to.
Actually, no. See what you're saying. So I'll go next.
Yeah, because no, on Gittens, we haven't even got through that in the last 30. We were gonna ask in terms of how quickly you think he can transition to the Premier League with his style of play as well, because apparently we've heard as well that a bigger problem with the second half of last season was the manager barely playing him as much due to a different style of play. So we wanted to hear about the last 6 months and how quick and how easily you think he could translate to the Prem.
I'll answer the second question first because I think it's easier to do.
Cool.
And also shorter. With the type of player he is, I think he can transition well into the Premier League. The issue is rather his. It's just the way he is as a player right now. Where I think there's just a lot of maturing that needs to be done. There's a lot of There's what's it called? Sorry for my English again. But there's a lot of his skill set is most of the issue. For me, I don't think he struggles in terms of the physicality of the pacing of the league because of how fast and how physical he himself is. For example, when Noni came to the league, I don't think necessarily that
it's more mental, IQ.
Yeah, there we go. That's the right word I was looking for. It's the mental type of stuff, his decision making, composure, his finishing even at times. Even though he shoots a lot of the ball, I don't think he's the greatest finisher in my opinion. So these are the type of things that I look at somebody like Gittens and I think this is what he has to work on because he is such a raw player. One thing, that's why I even find it crazy, to be honest, that we rejected 55. Apparently there was a third offer for 55 million. When in reality, Gittens is people may don't know we got him actually from a free transfer from City.
Yeah, because if he's not even starting like that for you guys,
No,
then he's
he
not really a key player for you.
he has yet to play a full season as a starter for us. Like there's maybe been previous season, I don't necessarily blame him for not getting a lot of opportunities because he's still kind of young. But also, I don't rate Edin Terzic at all, and he wasn't even trying to utilize him at all. So no, I think his game translates to the Premier League, but I think he's just raw as fuck as a player. I think that's the issue right now. That's why I'm kind of crazy that we're asking for 60. I was fine with 50 to be honest. 50, I'm talking about euros, not pounds. But yeah, that's the second. Yeah, but that's the second question. But the first question was about how these last 6 months at Dortmund. It's weird because obviously everybody knows we did a manager change. Şahin, terrible. But one thing you can say about the Şahin era is that him and Guirassy were probably the brightest spark in the Dortmund team. If anything happened in this Dortmund team under Şahin, it either came from Guirassy and Şahin, and Guirassy or Gittens. And I think partly that came from the fact that a lot of the usage and the way we wanted to play had to go through Gittens because all the Adeyemi was just in a poor form. So was Julian Brandt. Maximilian Bayer was still trying to adjust to the league. So you had these other attackers not being at the A game. So it had to be Guirassy and it had to be Gittens. No, Kovac comes in midway through the season. One part of the reason why I think you failed to impress Kovac is because of the lack of effort, to be honest. I just think, and which comes again from young players, you were kind of like, with the last manager, you were considered one of the best players. All of a sudden, the new manager comes, a new voice, and he's telling you, you're not that important because I have other attackers as well who can do a job as well. Then there was a whole thing about midway through the season when we were fighting for the Champions League. And I think we're still in the Champions League where reports starting to come out how he's already looking for a move in the summer, which I think favored him out of the team as well. And I think a lot of people don't know that we have obviously another young winger who can play on that side in Julia Duranville, who can also play on the side. And he started to get healthy at the first half of the season. He didn't play because he was injured. He came back into playing. So he got in his opportunity. Maximilian Bayern started finding his form. Adeyemi started finding his form. Even Brandt, even though I read Brandt at all, even he started playing a little bit better. And I think you were not as depending to the team because everybody else started playing better. But I don't necessarily blame it all on him because I do think at times he should have been getting opportunities. I do think at the start of the first 6 months of the season, because you were so relied on, it takes a toll on him. And for somebody who hasn't been starting on a consistent basis for Dortmund, expecting somebody like him to be the game changer, I don't think he was never going to be playing like that for a whole season. He just wasn't. So I do think it was actually a good call for Kovac by not playing him and having him coming off the bench and trying to impact the game, because I think at the moment in his career, I think he's more of an impact player than a starter, me personally. And you saw
I'd have to disagree with you about the first half of the season, man. The difference between the first half and second half, I'm going to have to totally disagree with you, in my opinion. I watch a lot. I probably watch about almost 25 to 30 games of this guy, bro.
Yeah.
So, like, I'm not necessarily, and once again, like, I watch a lot of Bundesliga. Like,
go ahead.
Yeah. So it's like, but to me, it was system-wise for both teams for between first half and second half. First half, he was specifically like a wide winger, a touchline wide winger that would give Şahin's system allowed him to be one-on-one a lot of the times. And it wasn't a lot of breaking either. It wasn't a lot of like countering. Where once Kovac came in, it was like Bayer is a counter machine. Like that's what he's specifically meant for. And like he's been in this league for a long time, so I don't know why he needed to get used to this league. But he's been in Germany forever. He's from Germany. He's German. But the way that they were using Bayer rather than Gittens is more of an inside forward or a front two almost that will allow the winger that one of those strikers to be able to roam a little bit more, where Guirassy kind of held the inside positions more in that sense. It just didn't fit him. Where when he got one-on-one the first half of the season, he scored like 10 or almost 10 or 11 goals. Like to me, it's not necessarily. To me, it's just like you said earlier, though. It's about the consistency. Like the consistency of decision making is the biggest issue in my opinion. Like he just does not. He just does not have that consistency in decision making. Like it's just, and that's where people are like comparing it to Nani, but he's much more two-footed than Nani, in my opinion. So like
he's fine. He's fine with that.
It's like that's just like in one-on-one scenarios, he was really good. He was really good, but
I hear what you're trying to say though. I hear what you're trying to say though, but I do think that in behind the scenes as well, things don't necessarily going right as well. And a lot of the things that you see from Dortmund fans, I'll be honest, I still think Dortmund fans rate him. I don't think it's a thing of like, oh, we hate him, he's not that good, just sell him and all that. I think Dortmund fans are hell of emotional, and let me say that. And I think it's just German football in general. And when news coming out about you midway through the season talking about how you want to leave the football club, fans are gonna start turning you very quickly. I think that was when you see Dortmund fans on Twitter or whatever you see, this is where the pettiness comes from. Because I still believe, like, if Gittens stays at the football club, I'm not gonna be necessarily mad about it. I personally would have taken the 50-55 million bid, and let's see what we can do in the window with that. But if it's true that Chelsea wants to come back in, and we want to negotiate, maybe it was a thing where Dortmund was looking for better bonuses. Like I said, I need to go and read exactly why 55 million wasn't enough, and they're asking for 60 million euros. I'm talking about euros, by the way, not pounds. Because unless somebody here knows why they rejected the third bid. So what is it?
They're dealing with amateurs, bro. It's because they know they're dealing with amateurs, so they know they can push it.
I mean, fair enough. Because like, obviously, it would be fantastic either way.
CWC tax on another side. We tried to do it 3 times in a day.
Go on.
Bro.
Go on.
This is kind of important, right? So I don't know if anyone's asked this, but I'm guessing you've seen enough more of Gittens. Well, in fact, no, you've seen more of Gittens than all of us. I'm guessing you've also watched a bit of Garnacho. What's the difference between them in levels? And I'm only asking because I'm trying to do everything to keep what's his name? That guy away from my club. Listen, yeah. So what's the difference? If Garnacho's I'm gonna try and be polite here. If Garnacho's a 5 out of 10, what is Gittens?
Hard. If Garnacho's a 5 out of 10, I think Gittens maybe a 6.5.
So he's not way better then.
I think he has a way better ceiling. Way better ceiling. And I think this is why Chelsea want to buy him in the first place. Because I can see the vision with Gittens. The issue is that at this moment in time, he is just not refined as a player to the point where like he comes in and you expect him to muscle from day one coming in.
Yeah,
that's probably the issue.
We all thought of this guy as a backup, really, right? And even though we're spending 50 million, we all thought of him as a backup.
He's a
realistically, at that point, like if us getting him as a backup is what it actually is, then it's really not that bad. I just don't like the price for it, right? Like that's
this is the issue. Like, because I think there was a couple of days ago there was apparently rumor about how there was like 35 million apparently they were willing to accept, or something, 40 million euros, something like that. That would have been fine. That would have been fine. I think. It would have been like
it wouldn't have been like you're hurting your budget too much and all this other good jazz. Like 40 million actually makes sense for like a squad player. You're not overspending.
Exactly. And that's not high expectation.
Yeah, we get the upside from it still. Really.
Exactly. Because the thing is, I agree because I do not agree necessarily premium prices for upside. Unless it's somebody who's also producing already at a certain level already, which he hasn't done. And I think that's the big issue where I'm more so surprised why Chelsea is willing to even try as much as they're trying to get him in. I understand the upside of it. Like, don't get it twisted. I can see the
thing is there's not a ton of left winger options that you could really go for.
That's also true. Like I listened to him the other day on the Armin stream, and the left winger options are not that great.
Jez, you know what's funny about the left wing thing, right? So Listen,
Yeah,
look,
go on.
there's one guy that I wanted from 2023 who
Caliber and Cole will start centre back for England, and they'll be up against Jackson for Senegal.
Jackson's
nice.
starting.
Anyway,
Apparently.
that's
Bro,
mad.
that's great.
But yeah,
Ireland,
just you know,
Ireland
it's
just played. Hold on, Abs. Ireland just played Senegal a few days ago. Jackson didn't even get minutes.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. He literally didn't even see the field.
oh, that's mad though. But what was it? So just the thing is, Nick, the left wing
Yeah, go
option. There's one guy who I've wanted since 2023. Unfortunately, no one was really with it, and he's at PSG thriving. I don't need to say his name. You probably all know who he is.
Yeah.
Wait. You wanted to Kvaratskhelia?
No.
No, he went to Barcola.
Oh, you want Barcola?
Oh,
I
Barcola's
wanted
not
Barcola.
thriving at PSG, but whatever, man. It's
No, he's doing what he needs to do over there, and they won't sell him to us. Now,
He's a
when you
squad
look at,
player over there, but it's fine. Continue what you were saying, bro. It's fine.
well, listen, he's a squad player behind Kvaratskhelia, who's probably the best left wing on the planet if you're excluding guys like Vinny Jr. whatever. So yeah, but anyway, so unfortunately we won't go for that guy. Then you look at some of the other left wing options, like for example, someone I really would love at Chelsea's Adamo Lookman. Never gonna happen.
My boy, my Nigerian. I'll put
I'd
in the
love
call.
him.
I'll put in the call.
I'd love Lookman, but unfortunately he's not going to come. Then you look at some of the other guys. Anthony Gordon, not going to come. What's his name? Rafael Leao, love him. Never going to happen. Nico Williams. I think Nico Williams is slightly overrated personally, but he's better than
He's
the
not
guys.
going to Real Madrid. No, it's not going
He's not even going Real Madrid. He's just,
Why
he's
would
not.
Nico Williams go to Real Madrid?
Oh, he's just waiting
He's not
for
leaving.
a
He's re-signing, bro.
No. Hold on. Thatcher,
If he
why
goes
would Nico
anywhere, he
Williams
goes
go to
north.
I thought he's going there, but I don't know.
Why would you think he's going to Real Madrid?
Nico Williams,
Actually, no. Let
Madrid got like three left wingers playing up top. Like,
No, let
Thatcher
Thatcher answer. Why?
let us finish. Let us finish.
I want to press.
Go.
So we look at these wingers who potentially could move this summer. I'm not talking about the guys who definitely won't move, but these guys could potentially be on the card for a move, innit? None of them are people that Chelsea will go for a variety of different reasons. Or at least if we do go for them, it will be one of them things where it's test the waters and then come out of some bullshit as to why we never followed through with it. So for me, I'm looking at the best of the rest. And under no circumstances can we bring that guy from Manchester United to Chelsea. I don't even want to say his name because I'll vomit if I say his name. He's absolute shit. So for me, I'm trying to find every option to prevent this guy from coming to Chelsea. So that's why I was asking about the Gittens Garnacho thing, because if we sign that guy from Manchester United, I might lock off football for good.
You see that? Like, even though I said what I said about the Garnacho and Gittens thing, Gittens is still a much better signing though. If gun to your head, you have to choose one of them. I'm taking Gittens any day.
Cross, that's nice.
Oh, dang, just for the fact
forget that.
Because the thing is here, because I do think also like some things that people say about Gittens' attitude, I don't think was necessary. I think it's getting a bit overblown because again, Germans like to overreact. And as a German myself, so I can literally tell you.
We know.
I can tell you. But yeah, Garnacho brother, like at least with Gittens, I can see a vision where I can understand what he can become as in the right system. Because I think he has the attributes to become that. It's just that his skills have to be honed like over the next couple of seasons or the next season or two. Garnacho though, I don't see what people see.
Bro, Garnacho is genuinely like, and I mean this with no disrespect. In fact, no, I do mean this with
all the disrespect in the world.
No, actually, you're right. Joey, you're right. Thanks for correcting me. I mean this with all disrespect.
Look at him, fucking mug.
Alejandro Garnacho is a disgrace to the sport. Wingers like him should not be allowed to kick ball. Because genuinely, like, the fact that there are guys who have played on the wing,
brother,
and trust me, this is it. He's genuinely the fact, and you know what's so funny? A lot of people, they all say, "Oh, we don't want what's his name. we don't want Cherky or we don't want Osimhen because they come with baggage. Yet these same guys are going to call for Garnacho. So what's the explanation behind it? Because he comes with more baggage and he's 10 times shitter than both of them.
Oh no, but we're not
Abs-
interested in Osimhen and Delap.
Exactly. I was about to say
Varane.
it's because they have to back everything these owners and sporting directors do for their gimmick, so they have to back the Garnacho thing.
No, but Scott, I'm just okay.
That
Fine.
should be
Even
protest.
no, no, because that's more, no, that's more to the
Big up,
fans.
Joey.
Yeah, big up, Joey. But this is more to the fans. And then even if you look at the sporting directors, do you not remember like last summer? Apparently, one of the main reasons why Chelsea never followed through the Durant thing is because apparently Durant comes with baggage.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So
that's straight at deadline though.
it would be it would be so funny if Chelsea decided to follow through with Garnacho, but they never went for Duran, they never followed through with Turkey, and they never followed through with Osimhen and all these guys. Osimhen, they can't tell me it's baggage. Osimhen, I know where you can't insult my intelligence, but they briefed that it's baggage.
Osimhen's not even.
They did say that's why they're not giving him any.
Well, not only is Osimhen not baggage, right? For all you dumb niggas that were telling me that Osimhen's gonna go for the bag, he rejected Al Hilal. So what now, nigga? What now?
No, but it's so Prime. Even Prime, do you know what's so funny?
Shut up, Fatter.
No, Prime, do you know what's mad with the gun? Not Prime. No, but Prime, you know what's funny when it comes to the Aussie thing with the bag thing? A lot of people are having a go at him saying, "Oh, he's just a greedy bastard, wants the money." Broski, do you man not understand what these people do in their where they came from, what happened?
They
if
don't
he wants
know.
to get the bag, go for it. I don't care.
They don't know. No, but they don't care about the struggle, man.
For me, listen, look.
But the fact he still rejected the bag, by the way. He said no to Saudi. He doesn't want to go to Saudi. He doesn't want to go to Saudi.
I personally, listen, if it was up to me and I could decide to bring him to Chelsea, I would say, listen, I'll give you a base of around 200, 250, and then you can have a few bonuses or whatever. If he wants more than that and we can't come to an agreement, that's okay.
I still think, like, people can maybe sound deluded or whatever. I still think we'll end up signing him late in the window.
I hope so. I hope so, because he's a fantastic striker. By the way,
I think this Club World Cup stuff and having a mini window for the Club World Cup stuff is sending things into like big disarray and craziness. I think we can still end up
They should never do this again. I can't lie.
I think even possible, like, listen, the Rodrigo stuff around Madrid, let's see how that one even plays out, bro. Like, Gittens, again, he's not my choice and stuff, but like, if we sign Gittens, but we still end up signing a top left winger to start ahead of him, then cool. I'm cool with that.
Well, Frank, can I ask a question?
Anyway,
the thing is, it's going to be a left wing /10.
No, because I actually want to ask. I want to ask that because obviously Branch has said that how Gittens would be fine as signing as long as Chelsea sign also another left winger where you can feel a bit more comfortable with him being starting over Gittens. But do you think that Chelsea would do that though, or they would do it in this window, where they would go and try Gittens, but also sign another winger?
Yeah, because like for example, this Maignan thing.
You don't know.
People were reacting in the chat.
Whoever thinks Barcola's crap does not.
I'm
sorry.
I'll call him Barcola, man.
Hold on. So to answer what Jez said, the reason why I think that it can happen, is because when you look, for example, look at the Maignan stuff that happened. There was stuff coming out that we weren't signing a goalkeeper. We were going to assess when the window the season ended. It was saying that we were going to assess the keepers that we had: Sanchez, Petrovic, Penders, and is there another guy, Sonina or whatever? We're going to assess what we. Jorgensen. Sorry, we're going to assess what we had, and then randomly Maignan becomes available, and we're in for him. That's a market opportunity for Maignan for us to get. If something happens with Rodrigo and he ends up getting pushed out of Real Madrid come after this Club World Cup, that's a market opportunity to go get Rodrigo. Lookman, their manager just left. Gasperini is at Roma now. If Atalanta, whatever manager they come in and bring in, if they don't favor Lookman or Lookman wants to leave or Atalanta want to raise up money to do a bit of a rebuild or whatever, Lookman being available is a market opportunity. Leao being available will be a market opportunity. There will be left wingers that we can get to start ahead of to be a starter ahead of Gittens. Osimhen is still a market opportunity. He is still out there. So I'm not. Cool. Again, like I don't have a lot of high hopes and faith in these sporting directors. I'd shoot them both out of a cannon if I could.
Damn.
However, like
I'll shoot them in the head if I could.
well,
Oh,
like I don't know. It's like it's there. Like the market opportunity is there to get. So
No, but the thing is,
a part of me believes that we can do it. I'm not saying
do you know what it is? It's not that we can't do it. It's that we can't follow through with it. Now, I remember the other day I was literally, I was talking to a couch critic. I think most of you know him, innit? We was talking about the reason why people aren't,
Abs, just before you go, I'd like to tell everyone that the transfer window is now closed.
You know, the way
for 6 days.
Wait, why
Lewis, you know the way you said that was like,
Chelsea be back.
No, wait, hold on. I thought it was meant to be open throughout the whole thing.
Nope.
No. There's two windows. It's like the Club World Cup window, and then the
closed for
actual summer
6
window.
days, and then it reopens. Because why not?
When does the actual transfer window open?
16th.
6
days.
6 days.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, can't you like?
Oh, okay, cool.
You can still sign players. You just can't register them, can't you?
No, you can
register after the group stage.
Do we need a Club World Cup squad?
No, I'm saying in general, like you can make a
you can agree deals, but they won't go through. Like they won't be registered.
Yeah, obviously.
Paperwork can be standard shit. They just can't register until after.
Yeah, but that applies to normal windows. Yeah, we know that.
Well,
but do we need to register? Do we need to register a Club World Cup squad?
You got a bit of a delay as well.
Yeah. Anyway, Prime, do you know what it is when it comes to, for me, look, there's loads of market opportunities. Yes, there's loads of good players who we could go for. Unfortunately, let's be honest, the directors, their credibility when it comes to closing deals is very, very poor. Like, when you look at previous signings, the Caicedo one, look, I understand that you cannot get signings of that amount of money done in like 2-3 days. It's not Football Manager or career mode. But they dilly-dallied for like 2-3 months, even though they've done groundwork since January, until eventually Liverpool forced them to eventually overpay. Then you look at the Olise thing. I don't need to unpack that. In fact, 23 was worse than 24, by the way, because 24 was kind of just him telling us to F off, but 23 was us not doing the right background work. The Maignan thing, they've slightly messed up. I don't think it's completely over, by the way. I think we can go back in for Maignan at some point. It just won't be now. It might be, later in the window, because Milan don't have as much leverage as, as they'd want. So it's a shame we couldn't get done now, but I don't think it's over. But they have to make it up. But if they want to, if they want to gain back their credibility, they have to go get a signing like that over the night, like a Maignan, like a God willing, someone like a Barcola, someone like that, innit?
They can't.
They've
shown they don't. They've shown they don't have the ability to do that.
Yeah,
not without help. No. But I'll be honest. Their credibility is dead anyway, bro. Like we've had this. This is bro the fourth, fifth fucking window. We've had this conversation. If we hear, for example, right? Like for example, if we start hearing reports about Eghbali being involved in the deal for Milan for Maignan, I think that gets done. I think that gets done literally a day after he gets involved. Because for all the criticisms I have about Eghbali, he's a proper businessman. He knows how to get shit done. He knows how to get things done immediately. He knows how to go in there. He knows how to communicate. He knows how to negotiate. He knows how to finish a deal. You saw it with Mudryk. You saw it with Enzo. Like those two in particular. He came in, got involved. It got done.
Didn't they get involved
because
in
all of a sudden,
Caicedo?
these clubs that we were dealing with, they went from dealing with amateurs, like literal morons, like people who don't deserve to be in a job. They went from dealing with that to dealing with people who know what the fuck they're doing, proper businessmen. And then it was like an actual conversation, and it was like, okay, I'm dealing with adults now. I'm not dealing with a child who's like flicking shit at windows and licking them because he doesn't know what he's doing. Like I'm dealing with an adult now, and that's what it is. Like these guys are just stupid, bro. They legit don't know what the fuck they're doing. They don't know what the fuck they're doing.
Scott, you're right in the aspect because people also forget like Dortmund do this on the regular where like they're trying to always take the piss with like any top talent that they have. Like we did it with Sancho. We told them we promise you a move next summer if you can't get us moved this summer. We did it with Haaland, obviously the contract. where he had ended up having the release clause. We did it with Pulisic. We did it with we didn't do it with Aubameyang. We did it with Dembele as well. So it's like every top talent pretty much we do it, but probably Jude.
Mm-hmm. Like, and the thing is, bro, like, I look at the way. Go and look at how two different clubs went and dealt with. And I know people are going to try and use some bullshit contracts. One was a 1-year contract, one was multiple. Go and look at how two different clubs dealt with two different players at Milan. Like, City went in there with an idea, got told it was this price, got it for cheaper than they were quoted for, in actual fact. And it took, a week? It took a few days to a week. They got it done. We went in there, fucked about, lowballed them, just kept lowballing them. We don't have the player anymore. Because they kept just saying, we want this money. Like, we're not lowering it. We want this money. Because they can afford to do that because they know who they're dealing with. They're dealing with amateurs. I don't think it's for me at least, I don't think it's a surprise. And I don't think it should shock anyone that we're dealing with different clubs currently with 3 different deals this window. And all 3 clubs who have different sporting directors, who have different levels of squad, who are asking for different levels of money, are doing the same thing in terms of trying to get exactly what they like. In terms of, we're not budging from this price. Milan went, we want 25 for Maignan. I have not budged. Dortmund wanted 50 to 60 million for Gittens, and they're going to look like they're going to get 60 or close to it. They said that from the beginning. They're not budging. Frankfurt have said they want 84 million pounds for Ekitike. They're not budging. But we probably will pay 84 million. It's 3 different teams. 3 different prices, 3 different players. They're dealing with the same team, though. They're dealing with the same people in the boardroom, and they're using the exact same tactic, and it's working for all of them. That says a lot. What's the common denominator here?
Directors.
No, but Scott, you're missing the big thing though.
Ugarte as well. We fucked that one up.
AJ in the chat said, "Say the N word again. Pay me £20 and I'll say it." But Scott, you're missing the big difference here though. It's all Maresca's fault.
Yeah. Fucking frustrating, man.
Yeah, well, listen, it looks like this would be, and it's actually really like
underwhelming, man. Underwhelming, everything.
It's really disheartening, the fact that it seems like every single summer is damage control. I don't know why it has to be like that.
No, it's not even damage control. Every single window's the legit
Windows
same.
plan, man.
No,
Like,
but
it's
it
not
is damage control, though, Scott, because
when I say it's not just I'm just looking like I'm going even more simpler, bro. The same thing's happening every fucking window in terms of we give these guys the keys to the kingdom in terms of go out, like go and sign these players. The ball is in your court. Here's the keys. Go and sign these players. And every time, and we're seeing, by the way, now with the Maignan thing and the Gittens thing, it's not just a case of big names or big money, bro. It's legit. Like any team that has a bit of like nous to them is fleecing these guys. Is turning up to the boardroom to do these deals, and it's just embarrassing them. Like the fact that these guys have a complete inability, and I'll keep saying this, have a complete inability to finish any sort of deal that isn't a City Academy grad, actually even then it's Joe Shields, that isn't a release clause or isn't a Strasbourg player by themselves.
Look what they've done to Gittens.
Bro, how are you not completing one deal by yourself?
It's funny, but with the Gittens thing, I can't even lie.
I want to know what are they doing for the past few months.
And do you know with Gittens? Personally, like, look, for me, I understand why the Gittens thing makes sense that if they don't want to, just match what Dortmund want, because Dortmund are notoriously a club who are horrible when it comes to negotiating for shit. Now, they will genuinely they'll get every last pound, euro, whatever out of you, and they will drag it on and on and on and on to the point where they don't care. I think the only club who Dortmund will not try and fleece are Real Madrid, because they didn't with Jude. In fact, they got Jude on a cut price compared to what you could have gone for if he was going to move.
We got hella money for him, bro.
They got
at the time when he left, remember there was crazy numbers talking about 150 M's for him to
but I never bought into the idea, because I think even the club told him, because what Dortmund do is the club tell them that if there's a certain number coming in for a player, and it's a certain club, we allow you to go, but it needs to be a certain number at bare minimum. So 100 million, they were saying 100% because we bought them for bare cheap as well. I don't necessarily read into remember whole thing about Wirtz being 150 million euros? No, apparently they're not asking that even for Liverpool. They always do that. They always do that.
I think Abs. I think this does go back to like I think the other thing it goes back to when it comes to these guys is like what you just said there about Dortmund. We all know this. Like as fans, we know this. Like you, me, Lewis, the guys, and like if you had to tell me about Dortmund and the way they do transfers and outgoings, I know like we know how they work. So you're telling me I'm nobody important. I'm not in the football business like they are. Like if I know this, you should know this. You should know what you're walking into when dealing with these clubs. But they seem to be acting like this is the first time they've ever dealt with these clubs and they don't really know what they're doing.
Remember when Chelsea came in for
so, guys, I've got to say, as much as we're pissed at the club for the whole
it's the same thing.
Jez, you know what's funny? As much as we're pissed at the club for the whole Maignan thing, I can't lie, low-key, Milan boyed it as well. So, for me...
But I'll be honest, bro, like...
I'm not going to lie, to me, that's the funniest take. Milan are our business partners. They should, we've given them so many good deals. They should help us out.
These guys are desperate, bro.
Listen, business is a dark code. Like, you can't...
Oh, man, that's funny, man. That's hilarious.
They're probably like, no, we need the money badly, bro. Like that. They're like,
what you got to understand is this, right? Is that
you say Milan are our boys?
Yeah, the owners, Egbali and
their American. I didn't say they're our boys. I said they boyed it.
No, but they are like the Milan owner. I don't know what the fuck his name is, and Egbali are mates, I think, or I know they appeared on a panel together.
Before,
a business like conference thing. I think they know each other.
But what you know about these guys that are like billionaires or whatever, it's like friendship is friendship, business is business. We can disagree on this deal right now and still go golfing. But no, we're not letting go of that 25. It's 25 mil, bro. Pay it. But either way for me, it's like when I'm looking at how. To me, like this should be the final summer, right? Like this should be the point. This should be the point where it's like what Scott said. This has always been my thing. When you see something work a certain way for 4 windows, why do you believe it's going to work differently on the 5th window? Like, where does that come from?
I don't think though. Listen, here's the thing, Dan. I don't think they're going to improve anytime soon. I'm simply saying. My point was more to say if they want to gain the credibility of the fans back, then they have to do something which, is a bit left. And it actually has to be on someone good. So not like Pedro Neto, who's not good. It has to be someone like, as I said, Maignan. Or someone like, or Osimhen. These are good players. But with...
I'll be honest. I don't know if their credibility... I don't even know if they can get their credibility back. Because, for all their faults, this club, which... does include the sporting directors, and I know I just they failed to actually do it by themselves, but they did get over the line. They got Caicedo, and they did get Palmer, and they did get Enzo. Like I said, they might have required help to get all 3 of those players, but the club and the sporting directors, by extension, had a hand in getting those players, and they're still getting cussed out, rightfully so, because they're doing a piss poor job, and damn near everything else they're doing in terms of trying to actually get deals over the line is shit. So, unless they do something unless we turn around tomorrow and sign Isak and he bangs, or we sign Rodrigo and he bangs, I genuinely don't think there's anything they can do at this point to fix their reputation. I don't think there is anything else they can do.
No, but I can't you see with someone like Isak, signing Isak would be I don't know. It depends how much you sign Isak for. Because what's the quote for Isak recently? 150 M's Newcastle been saying in it. So Chelsea had
still 150.
Huh?
It's still 150. I don't think it's gone down.
Okay, cool. I'm not saying it has gone down. I'm saying that's the quoted numbers in it. For me, the credibility of the director would come back if they signed up for 100. If they went from 150 to 100, because if they went and just dropped 150 M's and signed Isak tomorrow, that's easy. Most negotiators with money can do that. If you told someone, listen, You can spend 150 million pounds on this player, and he's worth 150 million pounds. I don't think Newcastle are going to say no.
Bro, listen, even this 30 million pounds for Delap, it does. You can spend whatever you want to spend on anybody as long as you end up winning, right? Like PSG went through this whole thing. They did get, because people like to use them. They did have the front line of Mbappe, Neymar, and Messi. It didn't work. They did spend however much on Colomboani, however much on Ramos, however much on any of these guys. It didn't work.
You got a great Alan's comment about Isaac and Jackson because this might be the worst game I've ever read in my life.
No. He should put the comment while I'm talking. That makes sense.
No, I got a question.
Wait, let Daniel land.
Yeah, after Dan's done better, because this is horrible.
Go on, Daniel.
Anyway, my point is this: is like, because people use the players that PSG signed to say, "Yo, we scouted these guys," and I think like a lot of people who aren't old enough to realize that was Arsenal's bag. Yo, we could have signed Hazard. We scouted him. Yo, we could have signed Kante. We scouted him. Yo, we could have signed every player that you see that's world class out there. They all spoke to Wenger first. Speaking to these players first and not signing them, I can't give you credit for that. Sign whoever you want. If it's going to be the next Doué, if Gittens is the next Doué, because people like to say that if Doué was on the market, you guys wouldn't want him, just like we don't want Gittens. All right, cool. Then Gittens should prove to us the same level that Doué has proved for PSG. He should do that, and then we'll say we're fucking wrong. That's how you get your credibility back. It's by winning.
Daniel, I'll double down on that as well, because especially because the two we hear about is Samu and Duran. Let's just focus on that a second. Samu, you cancelled the deal. So I can't even give you credit for scouting him because the deal was there in place. You cancelled it. It wasn't like it just fell through because personal terms couldn't be agreed. You couldn't agree a fee. Everything was agreed and you cancelled it because of a weird knee thing that he hasn't, I don't think, had an issue with the entire season. I could be wrong. I need to check that, but I don't think he's had that issue the whole season. The Duran thing,
apparently saying no one likes the sporting directors.
Oh, surprise, surprise. Water is wet. The Duran thing, that's another one. You could have got over the line. Instead of buying Kellyman, like in that Maatsen deal where they bought Maatsen, we bought a player, just buy Duran instead of Kellyman. There you go, problem solved. In fact, they probably take that at the time because that is better than PSR.
Even with people,
so why am I giving you credit for deals? Like, I'm not even giving you credit for scouting those guys or nothing, because the deals were there to be done. You had them in the bag and you fumbled. So you don't get credit for scouting them. You fumbled both of them.
For me, Scott, is more so the mindset of things, right? Like, Marina can sign N'Golo Kante in one summer, and if the next summer she signs Bakayoko, you can't keep saying, "Yo, remember she signed Kante?" So that means whatever move she makes, no, it don't work like that. I'm tired of hearing, you guys say this about Palmer when Palmer signed. Okay, but how many players have signed since Palmer? How many of them have had Palmer's impact?
The Palmer thing is hilarious.
All right, just quickly before you go, I just realised I've got 16 super chats I've got to get through as well. Apologies to everyone. The content's been going crazy, so I've let it run. Let's having you on, man. Appreciate your insight, genuinely. Bless you.
No worries, man. All the time, man. Big up you guys.
Alright, just let me go through these quick. Wait. Prime, one sec. I'll go through this. Big up Mo saying 9 for Liam, so he's Chelsea's main striker problem. Problem is no Osimhen.
No, he said probably not Osimhen.
Oh, probably no Osimhen. Yeah. Like, I've written off the Osimhen thing until I see otherwise anyway. It's just a pipe dream. Big up Noah Eastwood for the donation. Big up to you, my guy. Big up, brother. Big up to Kingpin saying these directors' hard drives need to be checked. I can't lie. I'm with you, man. No 8 million for fucking what's his name, Maignan, but whatever, because of CWC tax, and we don't want to pay it, but we're gonna try and rush through it 3, 4, 5 times in the same day for Gittens. I hear it, bro. Fuck all of that. Big up Eze saying Jimmy is right. You guys keep picking and choosing what briefs to believe in. It's June the 10th. You guys are way too emotional. It's only because the briefs that we've heard have all said, bar Thursday, after today, we're walking away from the Maignan deal. People pick and choose what briefs they believe, but I think everybody does. I just choose to believe Fabrizio. That's me personally. Big up Hamid saying, my bad, yo, I gotta make my owners money. Yeah, don't worry, it's all good. We don't blame you. Big up Emmanuel saying Serge Girassi. Baby's talking about a potential striker option for us.
Girassi, yeah.
Never been linked. But big up. Alios, we actually brought that one up earlier during the Sesko debate. Big up, though. Big up JCT, saying, I know the argument is about Sesko, but what do you lot think about Gyökeres?
He said Garassi. That was in terms of when Duoscope was talking about how
Sesko
good
is.
Sesko is in the air and there's no one better and whatever.
Oh, okay. Actually, yeah, Jurassic. All right, fair point. Big up JCT as well. But what do I think about Gyökeres? Good goal scorer. Not too sure how good he is in the air. Definitely wouldn't complain about him being the other strike option, because like I do think his goal scoring numbers speak for itself, and he is good enough in the box in terms of his finishing too. But yeah, big up JCT. Big up Strasbourg Steve, saying Pavlidis, Openda, Dobvik, Ekatike, Jonathan David, Ivanove, who I need to find out who that is. Just the Chelsea thing. Mateta, Igamane. I could go on, all better than Sesko, in my opinion. Yes, Strasbourg Steve pulled up with how many names? Fucking hell, bro.
Some of those names he made up. I ain't gonna lie.
Also link with Dovbyk though.
No, I don't believe he made up the Ivanov.
What he call him? What's his name?
Dovbyk.
Ivanovic.
Ivanovic. Yeah, he might have made up that one. Who the hell is that?
All of those, I do know all of those outside of Ivanovic. I know are actual players.
No, Ivanovic, that's a made up name, bro. That's not real, bro.
No, Ivanovic is a real name. Steve knows who he is.
Igamane, come on, man. Who's watching?
Daniel, that guy's Igamane is a real player. Like I know.
No, I'm sure he's a real player. Where does he play?
Rangers.
Who is watching Rangers?
Oh, he said Ivanovic.
He plays for Union Saint Jerome.
Oh, his name's Ivanovic.
Yeah,
Who's watching Rangers except for Prime?
Wait,
I said Millwall's number 9 better than Sesko.
Nah, that's your league, bro. How you not watch that?
But Steve,
Rangers don't play in the Irish league. What are you talking about?
Oh man, my bad, bro. I put you all in the same boat, man.
Yeah, fuck Irish.
All right. But you were backing Ireland to top a group at France because of an Irish woman, yeah?
That was AI. That was AI.
I
Big
got
up
the clip.
Steve, man. I believe you. I know you watch Rangers. I believe you. Big up Lurfix, saying you guys still miss the biggest problem. Palmer won't stay and wait for a potential player to come good in 2 to 3 years. They'll leave if we don't do it. I'm expecting whoever we bring in to impact the squad positively enough for us to go into a title race next season, because that's what progression is.
The one thing I will say about
we bring, I'm not waiting for them to come good. I expect them to come in and at least be able to positively impact the squad.
The one thing I will say, by the way, is I don't know. This is the only point I will disagree with people on, because I don't know if it's true, because I don't know what the character of these players are like. The only player I think is like that, because we've seen it before, is Enzo. Like, because he has a history of just dipping. Like, as soon as there's a better option, just dipping immediately. But no one else in the squad of that level has a record of doing that. So until it happens, I don't know. Like, I don't know if that's actually going to happen. Like, I don't know if Palmer's suddenly going to turn around in 2 years and be like, I want to leave, we're winning nothing. I don't know if he's going to do that.
Enzo, though, but he has been linked to Real Madrid constantly since he's been at Chelsea, and he still wanted to stay. So,
I mean, they haven't made a bid yet.
That's what I was about to say. They haven't made a bid yet. I do wonder if and when they do make a bid,
because he doesn't want to go. If he wanted to go, they would have.
No, I don't. I wouldn't follow that.
If you're why would you bid for a player?
When Real Madrid wants you, they tap you up for 4 seasons before they sign you. So, if they do want him, they're not ready yet.
Okay, well.
Yeah, look, if they aren't aiming for a serious title challenge, well, I'm going to be fuming, because that's what I expect us to be doing if we're talking about progress.
Are you going with the super chats?
Huh? Oh, no, not yet. Big up to Brendan saying which current player is worth buying a shirt. Palmer, Caicedo, Cucurella. Could even go Enzo. And, yeah, I wouldn't be bothered with anybody else.
You didn't even say your...
Big up Hotspot Aaron. If he says Prime looks like a burnt Snorlax. Yep, crazy. Big up for the donation. Big up to JJ saying, ask me for a dime, I'll find you. Ask you for a dime.
Oh, yeah, he's the scumbag in the chat I wanted to get onto. I see what you're doing, talking about Scott and calling him racist, bro. Go get a job, man. Or touch grass.
Right, Jay, yeah. Please don't run that if you were doing that, because Scott definitely
genuinely
didn't realize the guy's talking about I'm gonna track you that and yada yada yada, racist boy, white boy. Stop this, bro. Go get a life.
No, I'll be honest. Like, I don't care. Like, I didn't even realize.
No, Scott. I
for
know
the
you don't
record.
care, but, you know, I don't like condoning that sort of behavior in the
Yeah,
chat.
fair.
Yeah.
Hold
Yeah,
on, let me make
I
this
didn't see
clear.
none of it.
I'm not saying you guys don't watch other leagues because the chat. Listen, you guys watch every league. You watch the Scottish League, the Premier League, the Spanish League, all that to rate players like Modric. It's a waste of time. Stop watching these leagues. Stop watching all this type of football. If you're gonna rate a player like Sesko and these kind of guys, why are you watching all these leagues for?
Oh, I'm crying.
Nah,
Just watch Chelsea and you'll be all right. Like you watching all these games not to know football. Stop watching, bro.
Football fans don't
Get a
watch
job,
anything.
man.
These football fans are like doer scope.
No, I believe they be watch. Listen, I believe they
yeah.
watch, which is worse because you're watching. You're taking time out your day to watch Rangers and these type of teams, and you still don't know ball, man.
No, but they don't watch them. What they'll do is they'll watch the big games and they'll watch comp highlights, and then they'll look at their potential on FIFA. That's what they do.
Listen, Prime. I be believing these guys, man. Somebody told me of a guy that plays for the Israeli league. I said, how do you watch that? Where is it even streaming?
Yeah, but that's my point, bro. You probably saw a comp of the guy scoring a wonder goal or something.
Like what?
Or doing skills. That's why he rates him. That's my point. That's what these football fans nowadays do, bro. Perfect example. He crashed out about Sesko and he hadn't watched him.
No, I caught bro. That was funny.
I couldn't respond, but that was funny that you caught him in that because I believed him. I believed him. I thought he watched Dortmund every game. He knows what's going on. So I believed him. I was like, all right, cool.
No, and the thing is, bro, I wouldn't even cared if he hadn't literally crashed out on Prime because he hadn't having an opinion on a player that he hadn't watched. It was like
I know people who like the thing is with Sesko. I've seen like scout reports on him, so I know he's not good based off my opinion of what I've seen. I also know people that watch him who tell me he's not that good either. So I'm gonna go and believe them and believe what I've seen as opposed to a guy who crashed out over Sesko without even watching him. Scope's a weirdo, bro. I wouldn't say he's meant to. Yeah, he probably is limited, but whatever.
Yeah, we got right.
Oh shit! Big up Rants for the raid, man. Yeah, big up Rants.
But also from everybody who's watched football for a long time, do you always trust your eyes?
To a point, like it's eyes plus stats. Like
sometimes, me personally, sometimes I don't trust my eyes. Like there's been enough football that I've watched this guy, and I thought it was something, but then he moves to a different team. I see him in that system, like Jovic, right? When I watched Jovic, no one could tell me Jovic wasn't going to be the best striker in the world.
My baller.
Nobody could tell me that Jovic wasn't going to be the best striker from everything you saw.
He was at Frankfurt.
Yeah, at Frankfurt. The way he was scoring goals, it was like, this guy, he passes every. He moved to Real Madrid.
I didn't rate that guy back then. I'll be real.
I'm talking about me though. Me personally, when I watched the guy, I watched the guy. He had but I've seen this with enough guys like Stevan Jovic. I remember when I watched Jovic for the first time. I said, "Oh, this is Bergkamp. This guy's different."
Certain guys you can, certain guys you can tell when they break through have a bit of a purple patch that they need to do it again. Like when Gyökeres broke through last season, I said that he has to go again to show me he's actually good. And now what he's done this past season, Gyökeres, it's like, I don't know. His stats are way too fugazi, bro. The way he's scoring goals, it's way too fugazi. I don't like, and again, that's not even me saying we shouldn't bring him. He's my second choice, or maybe even third choice. But I just like, he's getting such crazy numbers that if he comes to Chelsea and he gets 20 goals, 25 goals, people are going to say he's flopped because he didn't get 50 or 60. It's just, we're going to twist it because he didn't get crazy numbers again.
Yeah, but even with him, right? Like that's where it's like sometimes you don't trust your eyes all the time because I'm the opposite. When I watch him play, like when I watched him play maybe 4 or 5 times, in all those games he's gotten mad GA. I think one of the games I watched, he's got a hat trick.
Yeah, and
I still wasn't impressed. But I have to sit back and be like, okay, maybe what I'm looking for is different because when I'm watching him play, to take a shot, he takes about 5-6 touches, right? And I'm like, I don't know if he's gonna have that many touches in my league. I don't know if that's going. But if he comes to the league and he scores 40, then that means my eyes was wrong. You know what I mean? Or whatever I was judging him on was wrong.
Yeah,
if
but
he
I
does
think-
and he doesn't score 40, then maybe I was right. But I don't always just like stick to my eyes over everything, especially when you have stats like that. You know what I'm saying? Like he has crazy
Yeah.
amount of goals.
I think it's like what Scott said. It has to be like a mixture of both. So like I'll look at a player, and whether I think he's good or not or whatever, and certain stats have to like back up what I see. And to be fair, stats don't tell the whole story. So there could be certain reasons as to why a player maybe is not performing because of a system or the league or whatever. But they both have to go hand in hand. I don't know. I think with Gyökeres, it's kind of like the Haaland situation. When Haaland was available, why I didn't want him and even Lukaku at Chelsea was because of the players that we had. They wouldn't be creating enough chances for those players to thrive. If we had proper creators, if we instead of Havertz and Mount, then buying Lukaku or buying Haaland would not have been a problem. They wouldn't have flopped at Chelsea. Haaland at City doesn't flop because even though Haaland's a limit, people say he's a limited footballer. City creates an abundance of chances that Haaland will always be able to bag and walk away with 30 goals.
It's also because they don't really want Haaland doing too much anyway. They just say wait there for the ball to get to you.
Mm-hmm.
I'll be honest, like if we get,
I think that's what we should do. I don't need my like, especially with the way we're trying to play with our touch.
I'm not even saying it's a bad thing for him, but that's why they think he's not well rounded.
No, I know, but he doesn't have to be well rounded. That's the thing.
Yeah,
your job is to score goals. Like it. We need a striker that is going to come in and score. I don't need you dropping in deep and spinning and whatever because that
stay where you are. Really,
like
stay in your position.
Who else is going to score? We play with touchline wingers, not inside.
It's just what Maresca wants because he likes having the extra advantage in build up.
Okay, well that's all well and good. We need someone to put the ball in the back of the net. So
we play with pace and power wingers as well. Yeah, we play with.
I know, but that's my point. Our wingers are the ones holding the width, and then our striker is dropping in deep. Who's gonna occupy space that he's vacating?
Yeah,
that's a rotation, isn't it?
Like people complain about Kane dropping in deep, but yeah, we also want to get a striker to drop. No, just get someone that's just gonna bag goals.
Yeah, but yeah, that again.
Man can tell about Kane dropping deep all he wants. He scores all the time.
Gyökeres will be that type of player though that we really need. Gyökeres or Osherman, either of those two. Because I can't trust Jackson do that kind of job like next season. I think he's gonna play a lot more on the wings since the luck come in there.
Jackson's also not a winger, by the way. The way we use our wingers, Jackson won't work.
Yeah, either way, we shouldn't be thinking about that anyway. Big up Joel Roth saying not getting Mike Maignan is bad, but us getting Delap is good, and I think you could play Jackson on the wing. Jackson to replace Sancho seems. We haven't been building up Jackson to go back to the wing. This is the thing. You brought him in, and he's just been trained and developed as a striker. It would make sense now to go back and do the same thing for him on the wing. Although you might see like rotations as well, because I think you're going to see a lot more of that this season.
Also, this myth that Jackson's
you might see it in periods.
Jackson's not a winger, bro. It's a myth. Jackson's not a winger. At Villarreal, he played in the front two.
And big up Daniel for rejoining the membership.
I watch him for Senegal. Senegal play like a 3-4-3 at times. He plays as part of the front three. He doesn't play as either as a striker or as an inside forward. He does not play out on the wing. He's not a winger. Just because he drifts into wide channels at times doesn't make him a winger.
I think it's more people just say that because like he originally was that at Villarreal.
He was not a winger at Villarreal though. It's a myth.
Was he not?
He played in the front two and he drifted wide.
Oh, fair enough. I'm not going to say I watched Villarreal in it. That's what I heard.
So he's like an inside left forward then.
Yeah.
Well, I guess now we've got a few days till Club World Cup. Can we go to that LAFC game with Neto and George?
This is again something I've been saying all
Harry
season.
George Hoop Sesh, let's have it. Tunisia ain't ready.
This is something I've been saying all season, and people are trying to have a go at me. I go back to the squad planning. You bring in a manager like Maresca or a manager like Poch, and we don't even have a squad that suits any of these managers. It's embarrassing. I don't rate Poch. Fuck Pochettino, but why bring him in? But our players can't really play his style of play. And you bring in Maresca, who plays someone completely different, and you have players that can't play his style of play. Doesn't make sense to me.
Bro.
But cool. People wanna, is what it is, man.
Oh, I'm crying, man. Hi, Jackson. Hey, go do something, man. Go do something.
Hey, we're gonna watch Jackson in 10 minutes, man.
Kickoff's in 10.
Man said win.
Well, in 20 minutes. Oh well, you're forgetting. Fatter twerks for England because he's trying to get that passport. You forget.
No,
we will not be there. Don't.
Allow it, man. I got World Cup qualifiers.
What do you mean allow it? Is that not what you do?
Fourth round. I got fourth round World Cup qualifiers, man. Allow it. I'm not watching that.
What do you mean fourth round World Cup qualifier?
Well, my country's in there. What are you about?
Oh, okay. Okay, cool.
You know what the funniest thing is, right? I was looking through YouTube. Nobody's doing a watch along for it. Nobody can be asked.
Because no one cares, bro. I think I looked as well. Bro, no. As far as I can tell, no other top team is playing a game. Is playing another game.
Hey,
in the schedule. Well, let's get some views.
Hey, respect Ireland. We're playing tonight.
Oh, good for you.
Good for you. On your own.
Hey, at least our DM can play on the half turn, unlike Rice.
You know what, Prime? Go for it. Go for it. Rice Lander can run. I can fucking run. That's the end of the deadline day.
At least our centre back is not a bitch like Cole.
Oh, Gallagher. Ugh. What a ugh.
Why am I saying João Felix? Bro, end the stream, Dave. Why am I saying João Felix and nothing?
My brother.
Oh, Fatter.
Yes.
Wait, you play Shamrock Rovers? Is it Logic? You're not a footballer, bro. Anyways, Fatter.
Yes.
Lewis, can you put him on big screen, please?
Put Farah on big screen.
Oh yeah, I do. Prime. What did I do?
Fatter, what are your honest thoughts about Enzo Maresca?
Me? I said that he needs
No,
some
the guy behind you. I asked. Of course you.
What? What? Him?
I like Tony.
Tony. Yeah. Why?
No. He meant you.
Me? Give me striker.
Yeah.
That's it. I like the guy.
That's not why I asked.
No, your thoughts on the manager, Enzo Maresca, the manager.
The manager.
Yeah.
Bro, I think if he gets some support, man, I think he'll be all right.
Oh, really? Okay, that's not what you said on Fankins. I have to talk, but it's cool.
I said I'm onto these directors more than anything. I'm tired.
What's your thought on Chelsea's manager last season?
Really, Prime?
Lewis, full screen.
Yeah, I'm up for a cigarette, man. That's it. Can't be asked for this silly question.
I don't know why you just don't be honest. Listen, Fatter, she does not watch Lewis's channel. No offense, Lewis. She's not watching right now. She's not watching. Just be honest.
Oh my days, man.
Oh, who's he stimping for now?
Be honest. Speak on it.
What am I hearing?
Chelsea like? What was Chelsea's manager like 2 seasons ago? Speak on it.
In the stream, Dave. This is a waste of time.
We'll end the stream. We'll end the stream when you answer the question.
Yeah, cool. Who's live?
This guy.
Fucking hell, barely live. Calm. Yeah, well, cool. I'll redirect to someone randomly. Who's live? Back of the Nest, Crystal Palace channel, and all of that. Everyone go over there, tell them Forest are snitches, and yeah, we'll see you tomorrow. Big up everybody, up the fucking